Yeah! What? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wayfarers, episode number 3, season 2. Today's episode is sponsored by Crabs. They're not a company or they're not incorporated, just crabs in general, as you can tell by my hat. On the last time of the Wayfarers, they were journeying through a very dangerous wood where they faced some danger, but mostly came out of it unscathed. They're now off to kick some bandit butt as we continue with Wayfarers.
Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you all again. We had a little bit of delay between our last session and now, but glad we're all back and we could find the time to play some heck of D&D. One of us got a year older. One of us got a whole bunch of blood. I don't know what the other two of us did. What did you guys get up to, Ash and Pig? Did you do anything?
Cookies.
Okay.
Nothing that I can think of, honestly.
All right.
What?
Well, perfect. I said that one of us got a year older and one of us got a whole bunch of blood, so I was wondering what the other two people did, and we got cookies and just hung out and chilled and vibed, and that's you know what, that's life.
Honestly, though, update. My state's not in lockdown after multiple months. I went to a pub with human people the other day, so it's very exciting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you feel weird? Did you still have to wear a mask and stuff, or how is that all going?
Not really, but I mean, you can't really wear a mask while you're eating and drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm allowed out again. I'm kind of sad. I just want to sit inside and play D&D with my friends and play video games. Now I have to go outside and see humans. It's really bad, to be honest. So.
Pesky people wanting to draw your attention away from the important things in life.
It sucks, man.
It does. Well, we had a really awesome session last time. Just to refresh, anybody want to go over what happened? Just a quick refresher. I remember, but do you guys?
Yes. So,
Okay.
we were in a camp, right? Do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
And we were set up and it was the evening time, so it was very dark. And we took turns keeping watch. And poor Nigel, he just fell asleep super quick and he was snoring. I couldn't even think. I was just so distracted by how loud he was. But anyways, we were all in this encampment, and then we smelt some very smelly things wandering toward the camp. And we caused quite a ruckus as we engaged in combat with the source of these foul smells. Nigel even whipped out his very strong fire magics and threw them in a general vicinity to toast the stinky men. And I also used my cutting abilities with my scythe, and Mendax even went so far as to chop, cream of the crop in combat.
Chop, cream of the crop. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically like that.
Okay. Yes, you guys had a bit of combat to start you off on your adventure through the forest here. You fought some rotten troll, undead, kind of disgusting creatures, and kind of refreshed yourself on combat mechanics. It's been a little bit since you guys got into combat. We had a bit of a break between Arc 1 and now, so that was the first combat of Arc 2. You guys sort of rediscovered some things about your characters and saw the true power of rogues and how ridiculously strong some of those higher level spells are for Nigel, and how little damage Call actually takes when it's the right type of damage. So and then you guys, I don't know if you remember, this was kind of right at the very end. You guys continued your adventure, moving through the woods. You're on about day 3 now, if I'm not mistaken, out of your 5 to 7 day journey to this hideout that you're going after. Where you guys are going after the bandits that had stolen some rations from the town that you woke up in. And your town's not going to make it, so you opted to go out and retrieve them, being the strong and heroic adventurers that you are. But at the end of your last session, at basically, I would say near the beginning of day 3, you all encountered a house that was just out in the middle of these woods, sort of in a bit of a clearing, kind of shrouded by some trees on either side. And that's basically where we left it. You guys went up to a house. Did you have any questions before we start today's session? About your character, about last session? Yes, Carl. What's your question?
It was a spooky house, right?
Well, you guys haven't really investigated it yet. All you know is it's just a house in the middle of the woods. We'll see how spooky it is, or if it's maybe made of gingerbread and nice things. Maybe it's a really great house. Who
Spook
knows?
level to be determined. Got it.
Spook level TBA. Yep. Absolutely. Well, very cool. If there's no other questions and nobody has anything they want to bring up, I think we can just go ahead and get cracking. So yeah, you guys head up to the house, or sorry, rather you come upon this clearing. There's sort of those gnarled and twisted trees, but it looks like the area that this house is located in is for the most part cleared out. Your journey through the woods, again, being pretty unpleasant. There's been these twisted roots that have run very near the surface of the ground, so it's made your journey very unsteady, and it's not very nice ground to walk on. You're constantly tripping if you're not paying attention. But this house, it looks like it's fairly clear. It's not exactly level and even ground, but it looks like it's some of the most even you've come upon in a while. There are also some trees that have been cut down that you can see nearby. They're sort of stumps, whether they were used for wood for the house, maybe for repairs or for something else. You're not entirely sure. But what is your basic, let's say, pack formation, just to remind myself here? Who's in the front? Who's leading? How are you guys walking? Are you kind of just a scattered mess a little bit? Do you have a formation you're trying to stick to? What would you like to do on that one?
Nigel sandwich?
Go with the Nigel sandwich formation. That's always a good one.
Is Ribbon in the sandwich with me?
Oh, it's a good
Ribbons
question.
will be wherever you want him to be. He'll float around. He'll be in the front if you want him to be in the front.
Ribbons
He'll
is
do whatever
like
you say.
the fancy olive that is a toothpick through the
there you
sandwich,
go.
and he's the olive on top. Just really brings it all together, makes it a lot more gourmet than it would have been.
Okay. I
I'm
like it.
always behind him as well because I don't feel comfortable with Ribbons, even though his healing has been awesome. He's still just a little bit. My hair stands on end whenever he's looking in my direction. So he's in front of me in the sandwich.
Sure. You get to see Ribbon's beautiful backside. Absolutely. He'll be in front of you. And then I'm assuming Call in the front, and then we could do maybe Ribbons behind. Ash, where are you at in this whole thing? I remember before you were scouting ahead. Are you still wanting to be sort of the scout for the group and alert anybody of danger or anything that you find? Or what would you like to do?
I feel like that might still be useful in this case if I am still ahead and I can get a peek at, potentially any windows that we see around the edges
Okay.
of the building.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so if that's the case, and if you're in the front, we'll start with you then, Ash. Ash, you come upon this house before anybody else sees it. Again, it's the exact same description that I just gave you. Very relatively clear area. A few trees that are chopped down. The house itself is fairly decrepit looking. It is fairly
spooky.
worn down. It is spooky. Good job. Good instincts. Good instincts. There is moss and sort of vines that are growing up the sides of the house. You see there's a stone chimney on the top that has similar moss and vines. It looks like it hasn't been used for a while. There's no smoke that's coming out of it now, and you see no lights in there currently. It is sort of midday. I would say you're still too far away to see in the windows. It's kind of just let's say you're about still maybe 100 feet away from the house. You're sort of at the beginning of this clearing, so it's still a little too difficult for you to see exactly what's going on inside. But as you can tell so far, there's no activity going on outside the house. Nobody's walking around. The doors are shut. The windows are shut. Yeah, that's what you can see so far. What would you like to do? You're muted, I think.
Sorry, I've got it muted so that you can't hear my dog gnawing on things behind me.
No problem.
Can I make a bit of an arc around the house? I want to make sure, like, are we coming up on the front? Can I see a front door?
Yes, you are. You're coming up on the front of the house, so you do see a front door. Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to make sure that I'm crouching down and being a little sneaky so that hopefully things can't see me through the window. And I want to try to make my way around to the corner of the house. Still keeping my party in view, but I want to try to get another look to see what is going on. Like, is there a back door to the house? Is there a rear entrance?
Okay.
Are there more windows? Is there anything hidden back there?
Sure,
Just
absolutely.
General investigation around it.
Are you signaling to the party anything, or are you just keeping them in view and letting them approach?
I'm doing lots of hand motions that in my mind very well informs them as to what my intentions are.
Okay, got it. Carl, you see a bunch of hand motions you guys did not discuss previously. You're not sure what she means, and then you see Ash disappear into the forest.
I would like to tell Ash a story vaguely using movements of my hands in response to her signal.
Okay. Ash, surprisingly, you get the exact details of this story. Neuro, what story are you telling Ash?
Basically of a house that was once a kingly estate or a lordly manor that has fallen into disuse and disrepair as a result of the evil Lich Lord who has taken command of these lands. And I would be doing this, telling the story.
Okay. Yeah, you get details about that story. Surprisingly on the nose, even though he hasn't seen the house quite yet. Ash, give me a sneak. Give me a stealth check. You're gonna go sneak in a boot.
Got a 16 plus 9.
Okay, yeah, you stealth into the woods. Your own party that knows where you are sees you basically meld into the darkness, and you're gone. Into the shadow of a tree, we'll say, and you've disappeared from sight. Where would you like to go? You said you're going kind of around in an arc, staying in the forest line still?
Yes, staying in the forest line so that I'm not quite as noticeable, just in case there's someone in the home, but just so I can investigate around it and see if there's any other, like I said, entrances, exits, just see what I can see.
Yeah, sure. You head around the side, and you can now see sort of the back of the house. You're on the... We'll say if you're looking at the house, you go towards the left. So you head towards the left side of the house. You can see the side and the back of the house. There is there's no door, there's no entrance, and you don't see anybody back there either. Again, you see, we'll say some stacks of wood and an axe that's lodged into a tree stump. It looks like they have just cut a bunch of wood recently, maybe in preparation for the winter or for the seasons. Give me a perception check.
Goes from like a plus 9 to I think a 1. Yeah. 15 plus 1, 16.
Yeah, fantastic. You don't notice anything out of the blue.
Okay.
We'll just say, yeah, you notice the cut wood and the axe and nothing else. Nobody moving around, nobody doing anything. We will say that you are closer to the house now. There is a window on the back side of the house, but it looks like it's very dark inside, so it's difficult to make out what's going on inside the house, if there's anything at all happening.
Is the window on the same side as the stack of wood and the axe, or is that on the side of the house, or is that on the back of the house?
Yeah, so we'll say that the wood is stacked up on the back of the house, and then the axe is sort of stuck into the stump on the side of the house, and the window is on the back of the house.
Okay, so there's no window on the side of the house, so I can creep up there and take the axe. Well, that's what I'd like to do anyway.
If you want to. You sure can try.
I would like to go up there and try to take the axe out of the stump to take it with me.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check. How are we doing?
I got a 3.
All right, and it's wedged in there pretty good. And it's not so much that you're not strong enough to lift it, so much as the grip. It is kind of misty in the morning, so there's a lot of dew that's on things, and so you like kind of grab to like leverage it, and your hands slip and come off. Give me a let's see what would be the best for this. Give me a dexterity save.
My God, a 7 + 7.
Okay,
So-
you catch yourself before you fall on the ground and make a bunch of noise.
Okay, can I use my cloak and wipe the handle off and try again?
You sure can. We'll say that you go ahead and you're wiping the handle off with your cloak, and the party has now arrived to where Ash was originally. So you guys now see the house that I explained just a few moments ago. You're at the edge of the clearing, and you see you see Ash off to the side, messing around with an axe that's in a stump. Just so you know, it's not a very good axe. It's like it's not.
Doesn't matter. This is a damn cabin in the woods, and there's an axe behind it. We are in spooky
Alright.
season. I'm
Listen.
not leaving it there.
I'm just checking. I'm just making sure you know. But yes, so I will turn the attention for the moment to Call and Nigel. Nigel and Call, you see this house and you see Ash, laying on the ground for a second as she's fallen, and then now trying to like wipe something off of the handle or something like that. You're not quite sure what she's doing. What would you like to do?
Looks like Mendax has just lost a wrestling match against an enchanted axe. Maybe she needs help.
That's going to be good. I reach into my pack and pull out some popcorn, and I just sit down cross-legged and start enjoying myself.
Okay. Call, are you just watching as well, the spectacle?
I would like to bet 2 gold coins that Mendax wins against the axe. I'll bet Nigel.
Who are you betting to?
Nigel.
Oh, against Nigel. Okay.
Yeah.
What's a win? How does she win?
Whoever ends up on their butt first.
So you think the axe will end up on its butt before she will?
Yes.
She's already ended up on her butt once. Oh, she's absolutely going to make a fool of herself. I'll take that bet instantly.
Okay, 2 gold on the table.
Fantastic. Ribbons will just kind of look around. Oh. Wow. Okay. Ash, go ahead and give me another strength check.
I got a 19 that time.
Yes!
All right. Yeah, fantastic. You pull and you realize the axe really was not in the wood all that well. It was kind of just very, very lightly, just so that it wouldn't fall onto the ground. You pull the axe out of the stump. Good job. It's rusty and made of this like kind of old wood. It's like a gigantic woodcutter's axe. It's like made for splitting logs, and that's it. But yeah, now you have it. So good job.
Can I silently... I want to turn back to my party members, and I want to Tusken Raider it over my head, but not actually make the noise.
Well, you have to make the noise if you do that.
But internally, they know.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, you do that.
Okay, and then can I creep around towards the back where I saw the window? I want to creep alongside the house and see if I can't just barely peek in the corner of the window.
Yeah, since we're taking an extremely stealthy approach so far, go ahead and roll me another stealth check, because that one has certainly been used.
11 + 9 is 20.
Okay. Yes, you head over to the window. You creep over. Give me another perception check.
Come on, see things. 19 + 1.
19. Okay, 20. You don't hear anything, so you kind of press you're kind of trying to listen as you're creeping forward around the stack of wood that's over there. But you don't hear any sort of movement or anything like that. You look inside the house, and you actually find that the window itself is covered with some like dusty black substance. The inside of it is. It looks like soot. Looks like maybe these windows haven't been cleaned in a long time. From what you can make out, you see the faintest amount of movement inside the house. But you can't tell where it is or what's happening. You're muted again.
God damn it, these fucking dogs. There's 2 of them in here. It's like a piano bar, but with fucking bones. I mean, far cuter. I want to sneak back away from the window and sneak back to my comrades to tell them that there is definitely something in the house, although we can't tell what it is yet.
Okay, sounds good. I will say, as you're kind of now up close against the window, you do actually begin to hear sort of a very, very faint sound, and it's like a buzzing. It's like a buzzing noise coming from inside of the house.
Mm. And just
You're gonna head back to your friends?
definitely. I feel like if I'm
Alright.
hearing a buzzing sound from inside the cabin, be interrupting somebody's private time. I'm going to back away.
Of course, that's what you would think. Alright, so you head over back to your friends, and you regroup with them pretty quickly.
I didn't even think of that. I thought it was bees.
Well, leave it to Ash to
Bees
just
don't,
have...
generally have their own house. Like,
Yes, they
human-sized
do. That's a
house.
beehive.
Yes, they have a beehive, not a bee house.
It could be large bees.
Okay, so you're back with your friends. What do you tell them?
Okay. I couldn't see what was going on in there. The window's coated in something, so we can't see through it. But I was hearing a very strong buzzing noise, and there was a bit of movement. So there's something in that house that buzzes and moves. But I can't tell you what it is. I do, though, have an axe.
Yes, you show them your axe. It is about the worst axe you guys have ever seen. Its damage, so that you know, is D6 -3. So, really, really stellar job on that one.
Well, that's about the best thing I'd expect you to be able to beat. I hand 2 gold over to Carl.
Yes. Inventory. Go to the currency, and we are up 2 gold.
And I am down.
Add. Perfect. A good bet. Good try. Mendax, for the record, I put my faith in you. Thank you.
Wait, what was the bet?
Well, whether or not the axe would win.
Nigel, really, Nigel.
You
That
were-
was
Should go
kind
on
of...
the axe.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like it was stuck in there really well, and I kind of figured whoever lives in this house was going to come out and startle you, to be honest.
Really, I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed.
Well, don't go falling in your ass anytime soon, because I'll bet on you the other way next time, I promise.
Alrighty. Yeah, what would you guys like to do?
We could knock. Is there a doorbell? If there's someone inside, do you think we should appear as nice guests, or are we breaking and entering?
I mean, it could go either way. We could have someone knock at the front door and another person try to sneak in through the back window, but I don't even know if the window is locked. I mean, we could always smash it with an axe.
So does it look like it's like, are there cobwebs or anything? It looks like it's lived in. Like, it doesn't look like it's all abandoned or anything. I mean, there's an axe sitting there, there's fresh cut wood. Like, it kind of looks like it's reasonably maintained.
Reasonably maintained, but there is something that's been coated on the inside of the window so that you can't see and I don't think much light can get through. Is there anything that we know of, or Nigel, that you know of, that would make a large, like a loud buzzing noise and prefers to be in the dark, but that is capable of handling an axe and chopping wood?
Well, I mean, I've never heard of a vampire to buzz, but definitely they're not too fond of sunlight.
And it's daylight now, correct? Right? Because we waited until dawn to move out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if
Yep.
it is a vampire, they should have gone to ground by now. and there was definite movement.
It
So I
could
think
be
we
a
could-
chef.
Could always be a chef.
I do love putting chefs in these games.
It's going to be a chef commune of bandits.
Every time I try to be nice to someone and say hello, they attack me, so...
Pound my undead meat twice daily.
He was a nice guy.
Oh, yeah!
I think I was going to name my second New World character Richard Dixon.
It's a good name.
So-
I say we knock.
Do we all go?
Ribbons, did you recognize that buzzing noise, by the way?
He'll, no. No, Ribbons doesn't know of any... I mean, it's just like bees and flies. But, no, I don't know of any buzzing creatures. Not Ribbons, no.
I briefly consult Earthworms and Where to Find Them, Volume 1, and say, yeah, it's probably not Earthworms either, guys.
You do have, what is it, 5 volumes of that? So, I mean, there's a lot of
6.
volumes. 6? You could check the other ones, too, if you want.
We'll just check Volume 1 for now.
Okay, just volume 1. Got it.
We don't have time for an extensive search.
Okay. It seems like you guys you wouldn't recognize a creature like singular that would make a large amount of buzzing.
So should I knock, then? Or are we going in combat mode?
I mean, we could knock, but I do think we should be prepared for something. I mean, if we know that insects buzz, we know that most insects don't like fire. So as long as Nigel is ready with, a bit of his little flamey fingers, then I think we should be okay to go. Or at least, just have a slight defense ready, just in case.
Burning Hands is ready in the spellbook. I stand ready to incinerate anything that looks to sting us.
Sounds good. Oh yeah, I think you have to pick a bestial soul at the beginning of the day. Call. What did you pick?
So it's to swim, to jump, or to climb.
Okay.
Let's go with climbing today.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so go do what you guys are gonna do. Is everybody going up there? Some people hanging back?
Well, I think if I go up and I ding dong or knock knock, and Nigel has his abilities trained upon the doorway, if I need to say, get the fuck out, I could do so and he could blast them.
Okay, sounds great. Call, you walk up to the door. Nigel and Ash, you guys are following suit with ribbons, and Nigel, you're sort of at the ready in case you need to go blasting. Yeah, Call, you head up to the door and you knock upon it. You hear this buzzing that Ash had mentioned. It's not extremely loud, but as you knock, it does get louder, and you can tell it does sound like it is a swarm of something. There's a lot of things in there that are all buzzing at the same time. You wait for 10 seconds or so. You don't hear any reply, and you don't hear anything besides that buzzing inside of the house.
I will knock once more, just in case.
Sure, absolutely. Maybe you knock a little harder this time, just to make sure that you're heard. Same thing. You hear the buzzing grow a little bit louder for a moment, but besides that, no answer, no movement that you can hear, and no reply. The door does not open either. They don't open it.
Can I check and see if it's locked?
You certainly can. And it is. It is locked.
Let's see, do I have a crowbar. Hey, Mendax, I bet you're good at this kind of thing. Can you unlock doors?
I've been known from time to time.
Okay. Are you going to go and
Yes.
unlock the door?
Yes, I'm going to go and try to unlock the door, I think. I mean, before we do that, should we just try a window?
We could. I'm
You
not
guys-
opposed to it.
There's a window on... Is there a window on the front?
Yep, there's 2 windows on the front. Similar type of sort of blockage, we'll say. It's making it difficult to see inside.
Okay, could I try to just push one up just ever so, just to see if it's locked?
Sure. You can't tell if it's locked or if it's just kind of stuck. It's not really budging though easily. Oh, hello, doggy.
Watch. There's one of them. Okay, then yeah, I'll go ahead and try to unlock the door.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand.
Let's go. It's a 9 plus 3 is 12.
A 12 will do it. Yeah, you are able to. You hear the satisfying click of the lock disengaging, and you try the handle. You don't open it, but it is unlocked now.
Oh, perfect. All right. Look back at the guys. Are we going in? Am I
Well,
opening it all the way?
remember what I said about bees? If it is a swarm of bees, we probably shouldn't open the door and be standing in the doorway. So what I was thinking was, if you stand back, Nigel stands at the ready, and I open the door and I stay behind the door, then if the bees come out, then we can shoot them with wizard magic.
That works for me. I mean, especially if I'm by Nigel as well. If one of them stings me, I can hellish rebuke them and get some more fire going.
Okay, sounds good. So Ash and Call, you're gonna kind of hide behind the door, out of the way, after opening it, and then Nigel, you're gonna kind of be ready for the blasting, I guess. I think that's the plan.
Let's do it.
That's right. Okay. Carl, on you then. You go ahead and open up the door. It sort of creaks a little bit of groaning as the wood settles in. Maybe it hasn't been opened for a while. And inside, Nigel, you're sort of like right in front of the door, ready to go. You're not like standing right next to it, but you're a little ways back. As they open the door, the sound of buzzing gets much more intense. You can hear it much more clearly, and it's much more loud now that the walls have sort of been removed from the sound. And you can tell that it is just an absolute, like, ridiculous amount of flies that are in there. And a lot of them come, like, swarming out of the house, and, like, almost what looks like a moving cloud of darkness. And it sort of startles you for a second with you aren't exactly sure what to expect. But they're just regular flies. They don't like attack you or anything like that. Yeah, so they just sort of swarm outside of the house, and there's still some that are inside of the house, but it's relatively dark and you can't make out too much in there. Go ahead.
I'm gonna just immediately get a strip of cloth out of my pack and wrap it around my nose. Body.
Good call. A very good call. And speaking of Ash and Call, you are right next to the door. Give me Constitution saves.
Does it smell really bad?
A 2 plus a 3.
4 plus
Okay.
7 is
Please
11.
remember that was Joe DiMaggio's number. Very strong man. Johnny Bench. Hands basically the size of the state of Ohio. Also very strong. 5 is a very strong number is what we're going for.
Okay, fantastic. If I took those numbers separately, maybe that would work, but unfortunately they are combined, and that is a 5, which is not a very good number. Both of you double over with just this putrid toxicity that pours out of this house. You have to. It's literally singes your nostrils with how
Whoa.
disgusting it smells. It smells worse than those undead literal like trolls that you were fighting just not too long ago, because these have sort of this smell. It has been sort of baked and has been sought after by all the bugs that have been in there. You have to run away from the entrance of the door, just to get away from the smell. Mendax, you specifically, you don't take it very well. You keel over in the side of the woods. You can't stomach it. Call, you're able to stomach it, but you still have to clear the area. Nigel, who used his reaction instantly, and just was spot on. He was able to cover his nose and face immediately. And you can still smell it a bit through that. It's not perfect, but it definitely lessened it. It smells like a warm sort of putrid smell. Almost like it's been microwaved. Ribbon sits next to you, and he's kind of just looking around. What? Whoa. That was a lot of flies. He doesn't look very bothered by any of the smells.
Can you not smell that, Ribbons? It's horrid.
And he'll yeah, I've smelled worse. It's
Oh.
not bad.
Yes, it is bad.
If you say so.
So if you're not bothered, why don't you go check it out?
Okay. And he'll walk forward, just kind of happy as can be. A couple of flies will land on the back of his head. He kind of just shoos them away. None of this seems to be very distressing for him. And he gets right up to the entrance of the house, and he'll look inside. You can, hello, anybody home? And he'll look over and he'll go, oh, that's rather unfortunate. And he'll look back at you guys and he'll say, there are dead people in here.
How many?
And he'll look back in. He kind of looks around, making sure he doesn't miss any. He goes, 3. There's 3 dead people inside the house.
What kinds of
Like-
people?
Are they dead or are they undead dead?
Oh no, they are dead. They are dead. I mean, they might come to life. I don't know. I've seen weirder things, but they look super dead. Come take a look.
I'd like to cover my bird nostrils and go check it out.
I'll come in as well.
Sure, sounds good.
Yes, I'll go.
Yeah.
But very reluctantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody go inside the dead house. That sounds perfect. You guys head up to the door where Ribbons is. He'll step inside to kind of clear out of the way so that he's not in the way of you guys. But what you see and what you smell, even through pinched nostrils, you can almost smell it through your mouth. If that makes sense. It's pretty gross, but it's all helping, the cloth and things like that. You might even have some like smelling ointments that you might want to pick up next time you're in town. Who knows? This sort of prepares you for a mental inventory of things you need to maybe have in these cases. You're able to stomach it, although it is pretty bad. You walk up to the house and you see, we'll just describe it. You see the inside of the house. It looks like a fairly cozy cottage in a way. It has a fireplace that's off to the left side and a table in the middle that has 3 chairs at them. There is a bed that's over towards the right, and there's various sort of tables that have different objects on them, the cutlery and just sort of different everyday things that a family might need. The thing that it obviously is kind of ruining this whole scenario is that there are 3 corpses. 2 of them are sitting in a chair at the table. The table itself has rotten, moldy and old food that's on it. It looks like there was some bowls of soup that now have quite a fungus colony and mold colony growing out of it. And there is also some bread and what looked like maybe once upon a time it was cheese. But it has all been sort of twisted by nature into these new bacteria colonies. Exciting. And there's one corpse that's on the floor, face down, sort of near the entryway. If you're at the entryway, sort of directly in is this table, like sort of smack dab center of the room is this table, and the corpse is laying down, sort of opposite to the two that are in the chair. So you have the two corpses that are on the opposite side of the table, away from you guys, and then you have this one that is more close to you guys on the ground. And the sort of amount of decay, if we will, is pretty far on these bodies. They are not freshly killed. They do not look like people. In fact, they're more bones than they are flesh and muscle and meat, if you will. Any skin that remains is sort of a dry, leathery sort of parchment, and any hair that's around is sort of just like a matted and wiry and thin. Give me a perception check. Just sort of everybody roll me a perception.
Perceptive bird. Nat 20.
Okay.
With plus 5.
Okay. I just kind of want to
19.
see who rolls the highest. 19, very good.
Plus whatever my perception is. 21 with the bonus.
Okay. And Mendax, what did you roll?
14 total.
Okay. So, Carl, we'll say you notice this. Carl, you notice that the corpse on the ground and one of the corpses in the chair are fairly large, like regular adult-sized humans, or humanoids, rather. And the other corpse in a chair is quite a bit smaller than the other ones.
No. Look, there are 2 big dead ones and 1 small dead one.
Mm-hmm. Nigel, you notice the amount of bugs and rats, actually, that have scurried away since you all have sort of entered the vicinity of the room. But there are quite a bit. A lot of the flies have left, but you do see rats sort of squeaking around, looking for any sort of things to nibble on. The corpses themselves looks like they've had somewhat been feasted on by by nature, if you will. And Mendax, you notice sort of your we'll say domestic foraging instincts kicking in quickly, that the house has looked a little bit ransacked.
It doesn't even look like there's going to be much here. Can I see, I mean, is there any indication, I know that they're fairly well decayed, but is there, like, you know, a knife sticking out of any of them, or, you know, a head that's cracked over? Do you have any indication as to how these people died?
Sure, absolutely. There is no obvious yeah, there is a knife sticking out of that guy's head, things like that. But which corpse do you want to go over to first? Let's put it that way.
The one that's closest on the floor.
Okay, sure. Give me a medicine check.
A 3 + 1 is 4.
You cannot discern after nature taking its course how this person died.
Can I assist?
You can do your own. That would probably be.
While you're rolling that, Mendax, I see you're investigating it. What caused the death?
Haven't got a shit of a clue.
Oh, okay.
18 plus 2 is 20.
20. Okay, nice. This person was stabbed through the heart. You can tell that there is a sort of, you know, when nature takes over and starts to return everything back to the earth, it is messy, it's sloppy, and there's a lot of sort of ragged edges. But this is a very precise and sharp looking incision right where his heart would be. You can kind of pull away the skin a little bit, and you can actually see that the bones that were in front of where, you know, his rib cage have been broken and shattered in between where his heart would be.
Look here.
Indicative of a stab wound.
Look at this one. It seems as though they have been stabbed due to all of the stabbing damage in the stabbing area here. And I will point to the heart area.
How could you even stand the smell to get close enough to see that?
No, you get
You're
used to
starting
it.
to acclimate to it a little bit.
No, all my nose hairs were torched. I don't have any left.
Okay, there you go.
So this one was stabbed. What about the other two?
We should check them out.
Yeah, whoever wants to check them out, go for it. You can each, go and check out whatever it is that you want to.
I'll go
You
check
would
the
like
smaller
to
one.
investigate what's going on.
I'm going to go check the smaller one.
Okay.
I'm gonna sigh and sit down next to the one. So it was the one that was face down, separate from the other two that had the stab wound through the heart.
Yes, he was face down on the ground.
Yeah. So I'll sit down there. Okay. Well, time to get some practice, I guess. Hope you two don't mind. Just give me a little bit of space. Gonna see if I can wake this one up. Well, not really wake it up, but make use of it.
Oh, I like this, Nigel. Perfect. Fantastic. So you do what you do, and Call, you're checking the bigger one, and Mendax, you're checking the smaller one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Give me medicine checks with advantage, since you kind of know what you're looking for.
4 plus 2 is
Uh-huh.
6. 9 plus 2 is 12. I mean 11.
Okay. And Mendax, what did you get? Mind you, you have advantage, so you take the best of the two d20 rolls.
Yeah,
you get.
I had to take the second one. The second one was 18 plus 1, so it's 19.
Gotcha. You can see that both of their necks have been slashed open. You see an incision through the skin. It hasn't broken any bones. But as soon as you see it on the smaller one, you can see a very similar looking wound on the larger one. And Mendax, unfortunately, you sort of are checking over the rest of this corpse's body. They're clothed, by the way, right? Like they have clothes on and whatnot. Like, well, tattered rags, we'll say. You can tell that this unfortunate corpse is a child.
What the fuck happened here? Can we tell? I want to do some more investigation. I want to try to tell if, looking around the room, the things that have been domestically foraged, like,
Yeah.
is there as much dust in an open drawer as there is on top of the dresser or something like that? If there's something along those lines, I want to know if they were robbed when they were killed, or if they were robbed when somebody else came across this place after.
Oh, okay, sure. It is fairly difficult, but give me an investigation roll. That's a pretty hard thing to tell, though, I will say. So what you're shooting for is very hard to understand.
9 plus 6, so 15.
That's not really going to tell you what was searched at around the time that they died. That's like I've trained all my life to learn how to tell this information kind of thing. What is your investigation bonus?
Plus 6.
6, right? It's actually it's not bad at all. But you can tell things like I'm trying to see what I can give you with that. You can with your rogue sort of burglaring skills and your sort of eye for how things are done, you can tell that, like, to the lay person, a robbery scene looks just like a chaotic mess. Like they just threw open everything and dumped everything on the floor and it's all crazy. But you know that a lot of that has to do with they're just looking for something specific. So you can tell that the bed was sort of overturned and they were looking for something that was like underneath it. The pantries were all opened and they were looking for anything that was like behind, or any maybe secret compartments that may have been in there. The table itself looks like shifted back slightly, so they were looking to see if there was any sort of secret compartment underneath there. I don't know if that helps, but if you want to more specifically, you're kind of just doing a general. If you want to investigate specific portions, I might be able to give you more.
Okay. I was just going to relay at least that bit to my comrades. Just somebody was in here looking for something specific. I don't know what, but everything that's overturned, it looks like they're looking for something that would have been hidden, and not just regular hidden, like, I don't know, putting some money in the icebox.
Yeah.
This is something very specific that apparently they thought these people had, and it was worth slicing the neck of a child over. And then locking the door behind them when they left. It's
Did we check the
interesting.
back
And then
door to see if that was locked?
There's no back door.
There's no back door.
Oh.
It's the only door in the house. It's the front one.
Wonder if it could be those bandits that... No, why would they lock a door behind them? Doesn't make sense. Bandits don't do that. And it seems like they were killed some time ago, based on the smell.
Right, and from the state of them. I mean, either they found what they were looking for and they left, or they didn't. And I mean, obviously they left, but I would imagine there has to be some reason that they locked the door, right? Unless they're just, out of habit, they just always lock the door when they leave. Either they didn't want somebody else coming back in here to search for it again, or they didn't want these dead bodies animating and getting out, or just anyone stumbling across this random house in the forest, which I think is it'd be very difficult to randomly find this place.
They could have teleported out.
That's true. Lock themselves in and then
Or
use some magic out.
there could be a basement passage. Is there a
Good
basement?
idea. Can we start investigating the floorboards to see if we can't find any,
Yeah, certainly.
hinges,
Give me
hatches, anything that sounds hollow?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me investigation rolls. Nigel, how are you doing? What are you up to?
Just casually kind of laying down my pack and seeing if I can raise the dead. Or
What do
at
you have
least
to do in order to
animate
do that?
them. I just need to mumble a bit for a minute, essentially.
Okay. Okay, sure. Sounds
Just
good.
takes a minute of focus and a bit of incantation. Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay, Call and Mendax, what did you roll?
14.
Nat 20.
Very nice. You guys are sort of now low to the ground. You're sort of trying to feel almost for any hinges or locate anything. There's no carpets or anything. You kind of move cupboards just a little bit. Maybe you spend about 5 minutes going over the house and trying to find any compartment or basement or anything like that. There is nothing of the such. In that time, Nigel, your animate dead spell is successful. You see, it almost surprises you, right? Kind of. It's not like spontaneous action, but it's like a muscle twitch here, a finger kind of moving here, the head kind of cracking to the right a little bit here. And you have yourself a fully animated dead person, an undead servant.
Nigel, watch out! One of them has gotten up!
Call just immediately kills him.
It's mine. It took a lot of effort to do that. This is my servant now. I feel that dire times ask for more serious tactics, and so I'll cross the line that I didn't think I would before.
Oh, so that's so we can interview them about how they died. Excuse me,
not.
raised dead person.
It's
Excuse me. I've noticed you had a stabbing wound in your stabbing chest area, and I was wondering who did this to you. And I would like to look at the undead with a very stern face.
I mentally command the zombie to answer his questions, knowing that this is.
Okay, hold on.
Who stabbed you, you poor creature?
After you ask
Yeah,
that,
that is not gonna happen. They do not speak and have no intelligence. So okay.
I wouldn't know that though.
No, you wouldn't. We'll say the undead now, because that is what it is. Tries to get up. You can see it's like moving its hands or its arms, Nigel. but that they're tied with rope behind its back.
Ah, all right. I'll go down and I'll just cut the rope with a knife.
Okay. Yep, you do so. It's very tattered and old. It almost kind of sticks to its flesh a little bit, but it doesn't seem to care.
I don't touch it while I'm doing that, by the way. It's very much just...
Okay, sure. Why do you have this spell? Okay. I love it though. Okay, perfect. You cut the tattered remains of this rope. It very simply just kind of makes very simple motions and stands up. It is an undead. You can see that there's bones and stuff that are poking through. It doesn't groan or make any movements. It just sort of stands there. Half of its face is sort of just bone now. There's maybe a couple of maggots and worms that are crawling around on it. You mentally command it to do something it cannot do, so it just doesn't do anything.
Does its like jaw kind of loll and maybe like there's worms coming out of it or something as it looks deeply into Carl's eyes?
You know what,
No.
Nigel? I give you control over the creativity of its jaw, so go for it. Yes, if you would like, absolutely.
I just want its jaw to kind of just open and close a little bit like it's speaking.
Sure, actually, give me a d20.
16.
Fantastic roll, Nigel. Fantastic roll. It sort of opens its mouth. It almost looks like it's a reflex. It's as it is. It just kind of is. Does that? Its jaw falls off and crashes onto the ground. It is now a jawless undead. The sort of remaining black ooze that is its tongue just sort of flops onto its neck and chest.
Think of it more as a combat weapon. It's a sword or a scythe more than anything else. It has no intelligence. I'm simply using it as a vessel to inflict harm upon our enemies. And with that, I'm going to command it to go outside and stand guard.
Yep. As soon as you give it that command, it turns around and walks outside.
That's amazing. So it's not the person that it was when they were alive. You just made the bones walk around.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not really life or anything like that. It's simply making use of the muscles and the body that's already there and making it move and something of a pale imitation of actual biological life forms.
Can you make it take a bath?
Even more of it would disintegrate. I don't think we want that.
But it wouldn't smell so bad.
If we walk it around in the air, hopefully some of the
You just
stench
air it
will-
out. You just air it out.
It'll dry out.
Out
It's
your
been
zombie
in
slave.
here. Stand it in the sun a little bit. It should dry out a little bit, and the odor will lessen, I'm sure. I'll make him stand far from our camp at night.
Nigel, I don't want to make a huge thing of this, but I will say you've got Goop, you've got Ratty, now you've got Zombie. I feel like it's becoming a bit of a thing for you to kind of enslave creatures. Just throwing that out there. I think you're enough on your own, Nigel, just in case. If you're doing this to make up for anything, you are enough on your own.
Thinking of it another way, he's sort of raising his own army, which counts toward our full number.
Until Nigel decides to go on Lich King, and now he's got a huge undead army on behind him.
He wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that. Come on, think of Goop is great. He hangs out. We've taken good care of him ever since we found him. We got him fixed back in Tol Karabad. If it makes you more comfortable, you could become Goop's handler. I can give you his Pearl of Power. I mean, with Ratty, now with this creature and any more that I decide to raise, I'm not going to give you a name to this sad thing.
Yeah, it's not that every necromancer becomes a lich someday. There are plenty of necromancers who abide some laws and don't hurt anyone who's alive. They just desecrate the dead.
Yeah.
Are there plenty of hashtag not all necromancers?
Honestly, I don't know any other necromancers, so maybe it's not the best conclusion to draw.
Their reputation is rather unsavory. There's a reason I never delved into this sort of magic before, but honestly, I do have quite a few responsibilities on my hand. So if you do want the pearl of his stone of control, I'd be happy to hand it off to you, Mandax.
No, I trust you, Nigel. I'm just saying, be careful. Basically, just be careful.
I do have a tendency to forget to tell him to heal you guys. You know, I'm pretty overwhelmed burning things in the middle of combat and cowering and hiding and that sort of thing. So, your call. Let me know if you change your mind.
Will do. In the meantime, though, I mean, I do feel like we should still be searching this place a bit better. Anything that's worth murdering a child and 2 people, I'm assuming who were probably its parents, over, might be worth having. I don't think it's going to be a small bag of silver.
By the way, what time of day is it? Because I need to remember to reanimate this before it expires.
It's like midday.
Okay. Well, it's not the nicest, but if you're done investigating the corpses, I could potentially make use of the other adult.
You see this man next, you say, be careful about raising an army. Next thing he does, let's raise the undead again.
Would they have any memory at all? Like, could you command them something simple like, find the hiding place?
I could tell them to go in a direction or to attack a specific thing, but that's about it. It's
Gotcha.
yeah.
So just so you know, Nigel, you can definitely cast animate dead again, but that will lose control over the first one you did, unless you cast it at a 4th spell slot or higher. That will let you do 2.
Really?
Yeah, you only get 1 at a time with what you have.
Would the first one just crumple down then and stop being animated, or would it just be a zombie with no one controlling it?
According to the spell, yeah, no, it is now undead, and the spell just gives you control over it. So if you don't cast it again, it is just a zombie now. That has no one controlling it.
It sounds lonely.
Well, it has no emotions or feelings, but yeah.
So it just smells bad.
Yep. It's like a bad smelling puppet made out of people.
Oh.
I mean, that's what they. I mean, it's what it is in D&D.
A smelling puppet made out of people.
That's fair. Well, I would continue to inspect the house then. We check the floors. We could maybe check the windows and see what the stuff is that's blocking out a lot of the light.
Yes.
What is that?
You're checking the windows. I'm going to check. I'll say, is there any large piece of furniture that has not been upturned?
The table. The table's been shifted, but it's not like flipped over.
Okay, then I'm going to look underneath the table again too, just to make sure there's nothing they missed.
Sure. And Cole, what are you checking?
The windows and the residue on it to see what the residue is.
Sure, absolutely. And Nigel, what would you like to do? You ordered your new zombie pal to stand guard outside. It is doing that. Ribbons, by the way, is just going to be like at the door, kind of chilling until you guys tell him to do something specific. If you ever tell him to do something specific, you don't have to. But Nigel, what would you like to do during this? There's like the bed, there's the fireplace, there's
I did want
cupboards.
to look up the chimney actually.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of look around the kind of hearth and see if I can look up the chimney.
Sure, absolutely. We'll start with Call. Call, you go ahead and check out the windows. You see that the substance that was blocking it is like fly gunk, basically. That's the best way to put it. Bug and fly gunk.
This is gross, but the windows have been blocked by the excrement or grossness of the flies that we saw flying out of the house.
Yep.
Bit disgusting, but good to know.
Sure, why not? Mendax, you are checking underneath the table. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just kind of looking around?
No, looking, is there anything written under the table? I want to check the table to make sure to see if, by looking on the top and the bottom, is there one side that looks bigger than the other? Like there could be some kind of hidden compartment somewhere.
Gotcha. Yeah, you find. Okay, give me an investigation check. Actually, we'll do that.
16 plus 6.
Yeah, you don't find anything of the such. It's just the basic table. The only thing that you sort of are now noticing on the ground for the first time is that there are like wine-colored stains that are on the ground from what you assume to be blood.
Oh, that's hot.
But that's it. You don't find any secret compartments or anything that's like strapped to the bottom of the table or anything like that.
While I'm down there, can I look underneath the chairs that the other 2 dead people are sitting in?
Yeah, certainly. You don't need to roll anything.
You said there was a bed, right?
Yes.
I would like to take my scythe and just chop at it.
Okay. You can do that for sure. Mendax, you look underneath the chairs. There's nothing underneath the chairs. Really? Yeah. Nothing there.
Is there any...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask if there's anything on the bodies that might stand out as noticeable. I know the clothing is mostly tatters now, but is there a bracelet? Is there a necklace, an earring, any kind of jewelry or something that stands out a bit that you would think that a robber, somebody who was robbing the place would have taken, but is still there?
No, you do not actually see anything like that. Yeah, no jewelry, no necklace, no bracelets, nothing in the pockets, nothing like that. I mean, you haven't technically checked the zombie that's outside, but on the 2 that are still in the house, you got nothing there. Yeah. Nigel, you check the chimney. What are you doing?
Looking to see if I haven't really read too much. Let's just say I spent a lot of my time studying, growing up, reading a lot of fiction. So thinking of how did something lock the door, get out of here. Maybe a vampire that could transform into a bat, literally then flew out the chimney, or something, some creature that could squeeze through small spaces. Thinking maybe of a kobold or something like that, of that nature, could kind of got in and out through the chimney. So I'm just kind of looking for any traces of that.
Yeah, you look up the chimney. You can see that it's actually blocked by like a grate, basically. It's like a panel that they can move or put there to keep bugs out and things like that. It's not like perfectly seated in there, which is what you would imagine is how the bugs probably had gotten in. But it doesn't look like it's big enough for anyone to shimmy their way up, or maybe something the size of a rat could get in, and that's about it. But while you are over at the chimney, and there is like a sort of ash and charcoal, that's sort of residue and remnants from the last time that they lit the fire. It's all obviously very cold at this point. But you do see a piece of paper that is sort of scattered around the charcoal and the ashes. I don't know if Cobra is here, but could you put up the paper that Nigel finds, and I'll give it to you guys in the group chat. So Nigel, you can go ahead and read that. I don't know if Cobra is here or not. I know he put it in the scene, so maybe you have that. Neuro?
I'm looking.
Julie, my love, I'm going into town to find a buyer for the sword. With this money, we can give Sally the life she deserves and move away from this accursed forest. I took the gem out so the sword doesn't hurt to hold. I hid it where Sally likes to hide, Mr. Tummy Buns. I am going to Finn.
And that's where it's sort of burnt and
Cuts
cut
off.
off, and you can't make out the rest of it.
He read that so we could hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's an enchanted sword that has its power focus in some piece that was removed, so it wasn't so ouch burn to hold.
Cursed by the sound of it, if it hurts to hold something that may be powerful, but potentially harmful as well. Taking a
Tummy buns. I mean, that sounds like it would be some sort of toy or doll, stuffed animal of some sort.
yeah.
Where would a child hide their stuffed animal?
Is there a smaller bed or pallet, or is there only the one bed in the house?
There's only the one bed in the house. Not super uncommon for kind of, poor families to just share one bed.
Okay, I'm gonna start looking around for kind of hiding places on a low level.
Sure.
So
You walk over to the bed as Call is
Chi-
now slashing the bed and mattress
Ha!
to ribbons. There's feathers kind of flying everywhere from the blankets and the pillows. Give me a perception check, Call.
18 plus 5 is 23.
23. As you're slashing the mattress and sort of tearing it to pieces for whatever reason you have decided to do that, you hear something clatter on the ground.
Well, I would like to go inspect whatever clattered.
Absolutely. You do so. It is a book, or more specifically, a diary.
Huh.
On the front of it, in looks like a mixture of probably some permanent sort of charcoal writing kind of tool, whatever they would have, ink if they have it, sure. It says Sally's diary, no peeking, and it's written in some very sloppy script.
Sorry, Sally, but we're investigating. I would like to take a peek.
Sure. You open the book. It is filled with pages and pages and pages of writing and drawing and all sorts of stuff, just from the day-to-day activities or random notes, or it looks like some random word games maybe that she was playing with her mom or dad. It'll take you a decent amount of time to look over the whole thing.
Well, then I'll throw it to Nigel and say, look, I found a book.
What's
Okay.
it
Give
say?
that wizard a book. Wizards love
Wizard,
books.
they do. Why do you laugh? It makes sense.
Ooh, look, I've got a book. Ooh.
Why would a
I
bird?
raise,
Why would
I
a bird
raise an
berry read?
eyebrow and I simply say, "What does it say? What's so interesting about it?"
It says no
Throws it at
peeking.
you. Get dexterity save.
It says don't read this. It means I bet you would love it.
Are you outsourcing your reading?
I'm a barbarian. You're a wizard. Wizard's
The brain
book.
is a muscle like any other, Carl. I've told you this before.
Oh,
You
that's
can't
such a
ignore
wizard thing.
brain day.
Love it.
I didn't finish
You
chopping
must
up this bed.
exercise. We can't have you constantly announcing yourselves to every gigantic pig chef and saying, "Hello, how are you doing?" when he's clearly about to attack you. If you just exercised your brain a bit more, it would complement those gigantic biceps of yours.
Wow. I'm trying to give you a present and you just say, Carl, you're so dumb. Well, fine. I will keep this book. I would like
Good
to
practice for you.
I would like to flip to the end just to see if I can glean whatever the ending was.
Yeah, you flip all the way to the end. And the last entry was made about 3 weeks ago. And it recounts that that Daddy found a strange weapon in the woods and brought it home. He says they can sell it for a lot of money and they won't have to eat cooked rats and stale bread anymore.
This may be the thing that caused them to be murdered. If it's a very valuable item, and someone was looking for a particular item, it was probably this. And I will point to the piece of paper on the page like this. With great enthusiasm. For I had read in a book.
Wow, fascinating. So where is the sword? I assume it was taken by the killer.
Nope, I didn't finish chopping up the bed yet. I'll go back to chopping the bed.
Okay, so
It could be in there.
You're gonna hold on to the diary and just slash up at the bed?
No, I'll put down the diary and then I'll use 2 hands with the scythe to chop up the bed.
Okay.
Well, at least you tried, I'll say, as I step over and pick it up and start to peruse the diary. Don't forget to keep an eye out for Mr. Tummy Buns, Carl.
Okay.
Okay, Carl, you continue slashing up the bed for maybe another minute. It is now truly demolished and destroyed. So if you had any plans of trying to sleep on that for the night, that is completely out the window. But you don't find any more secrets. In the bed, under the bed. Yeah.
You thought we were going to sleep in the zombie bloody 3 weeks of decayed bodies bed?
I mean, you could take the... Well, they're not decayed
They
in the
didn't
bed.
die in the bed.
Yeah, exactly. See,
They
that's what
died
I'm-
next to the bed. It's a one-room hut.
Tons of people die next to the bed, Nigel.
Do you think we're animals? Jesus.
Well, you did just raise an undead companion, so I thought maybe the morals had shifted past sleeping in their bed if they're going to be your servant from now on. But I was wrong. I'm sorry.
I have boundaries. One of them has a practical use.
Okay.
It's crossing a boundary for a reason.
Ah.
Sleeping in a bed next to a couple of corpses that have been rotting for weeks.
You can move the corpses. They don't have to stay there.
He's protesting a lot now. Give it 2 weeks with this new zombie, and that thing's going to be big spooning him in the carpet.
I'll go chop open his sheep carcass, Mendax. Jesus.
That's amazing. Love it. Love it.
Are there any cabinets?
Yeah.
I would like to go and open up the cabinets then. Try to go through all the cabinets, feel around the top, make sure there's no little nooks or crannies that something could be hidden.
Yeah, absolutely. You do so. Give me a give me an investigation roll.
Nat 20.
Natural 20.
I'm really good at not finding anything.
You find nothing at all.
You
No.
are the most efficient in finding nothing.
You are sort of going through all the cabinets. You're feeling kind of in the seams, around the panels, sort of things like that. Your roguish intuition. You're pretending now in the zone that you're robbing this house. A lot of the stuff has already been pulled away. It looks like it was a very very sloppy job. You remark in your mind about how you would never leave a job site to look like this ever. But yes, you do keep as you're sort of feeling around the seams. One of the cabinets that's near the fireplace, it almost looks like a pantry. It's not so much like a secret compartment, more so as like a block of wood that has been shoved over into the corner. It feels a little bit loose to you. And you sort of jiggle it loose, and you find that it does have a little bit of a false compartment in there. And in there, you find 5 whole gold.
Whoa!
Which would be a small fortune to a family like this. They've been saving and saving and saving.
I mean, I'll take it.
Take it. All yours. While you are up and sort of you had to sort of step on top of one of the cupboards to reach up to that side. Give me no, you did an investigation of 20. You know what? That's gonna roll through here. You sort of, as you're looking over this compartment, you spot on one of the pillars. There's sort of, that's how the roof is held up, right? It's like a raised ceiling in a way. Think of it like that little triangle kind of thing. I don't exactly know what that's called. It's a sloped ceiling. You see on one of the beams there looks like there's a box that's just sort of sitting up top, above the table.
Oh shit! There's something up there. I can't reach it from where I'm at, can I?
No, but you could reach the beam. You can maybe like. No.
Oh yeah, can I pull myself up on the beam?
You
Or
certainly
jump
can.
and pull myself on the beam.
Jump and pull yourself up. Give me an acrobatics check.
Let's go. Shit, it's a 1 + 9 though.
Okay. Yeah, you're lucky you didn't throw anything fancy in there like you normally do.
Wait
You
for the
are able to.
dismount.
You with a 10, you are able to jump and grab it. It's a very inelegant and very basic jump and grab, but you're able to do so.
Gets the job done.
Gets the job done. But yes, you pull yourself up. You're now on top of the beam.
Okay. I don't know how much room I have, but if I have enough room to stand, I will. If not, then I'll kind of crouch walk over to the box.
You'll have to crouch walk at first. You might be able to sort of almost stand, but it's not like a huge roof. So you kind of crouch walk your way over there. You are I believe your background is you're a cat burglar. So this is a very familiar feeling towards you. You're flexing your balance and your athleticism in this moment. Very easily and nimbly, you're able to cross the beams of these pillars, and over to the box. You see, it's a small, or not small rather, but it's a long, sort of very plain looking box. It's a roughly the size of a sword.
Can I want to take a look at the box, make sure I don't see anything weird, runes or anything on it that might seem dangerous.
Absolutely. You kind of give it the once over. Nope, looks like just a plain black box made out of not really even wood, almost just like I don't know, I guess wood. Actually, I don't have any other type of material.
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. Made out of fucking carbon fiber. There you go.
Okay, then I'd like to open the box.
You open the box. You see in there is sort of like a pillowy surface and the indent of where a sword used to be.
Can I want to feel around inside the box too, just lift up the pillow and such, just make sure there's nothing else in there that could be hidden.
There's nothing in there.
Okay, then I would like to curse and throw the box down on the floor.
Okay, you can say your favorite curse and you throw it down there.
Mother shit dicks! And I'm going to throw it down.
Okay. Mendax says a very interesting curse and then throws a box at you, Nigel. It hits you on the head.
Oh, sorry, Nigel.
What the shit? Are there owls in here?
Just me.
Oh, Mendax. All right.
Sorry about that. Can I see anything from up where I'm at now? Looking down on things, is there anything with this vantage point that I could see that might lead me to where Mr. Tummy Buns might hide?
The only thing you see is how superior you feel up here, above everyone else. That's it.
I mean, it's interesting for my physical location to match my general outlook on life, so that it's kind of nice when they match.
Suits you. You feel at home. Nope, nothing else.
Nothing else.
It's dusty up here.
Gross.
And
Disgusting.
there's like cobwebs, but again, you're used to that. You've broken into worse places.
Alright, so there's no door latches or anything to get onto the roof. Is
Nope.
it a thatch roof?
Yes. No. It's a wooden roof.
Just making sure. Because you can hide something in thatch, but you can't.
Yes. Yeah, you could, but it is not.
Unfortunate. Alright.
Unfortunate.
Then I would like to do a swinging dismount. I'm going to sit on the beam. Then I'm going to let myself fall backwards, but I'm going to have my
good.
legs wrapped around it enough that I just
Yep.
land on my feet.
Yep. Give me the acrobatics check.
Come on. 13 plus 9.
Okay, 22. Yep, you're able to do exactly that. Gracefully and quickly, you sort of do this backwards flip and tumble to the ground, landing fine.
Puff.
Sticks the landing.
Dismount.
Dismount.
There it goes.
Yep. Very well
Thank
done.
you, Carl.
Mm.
Thank you. Okay, so I found the box where the sword would have went. And it's obviously not there anymore. Whether he sold it, whether they stole it.
If
Who
he
knows?
sold it, he would have brought it in the box.
That's a good point.
And if they stole
Listen-
it, I would have thought that they would take the box as well. It could be hidden somewhere.
That's true. I mean, you could have taken it. Anyone could take it wrapped in a cloak, or if they have a sheath for their sword already.
So just
One doesn't
to
necessarily need the box.
orient myself, it's a one-story building. Simple, humble home. Just one common area room, basically, with the kitchen. It doesn't have separate rooms. And there's no basement,
No basement.
and there's no attic.
Nope.
How's the bed looking now?
Very bad.
Okay, and there's nothing else that came out of it, just the book.
Just the book.
Okay.
Which was, I will let you know, literally just placed under a pillow.
Okay. So, what I would like to do is just chop the bed a couple more times, but then maybe look around the vicinity to see if there are any sheds or a barn or something that's outside the house.
Sure, you're going to head outside.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You chop, and then you head outside. You see Zombie Bob standing out there. He pays no attention to you.
Hey, Bob.
He does nothing. You look around the right side, left side of the house, and behind the house, and you don't see any sort of shed or anything like that. The wood again is. Oh,
I come out as well, by the way, so I'm just kind of
Okay.
following along with Carl and looking as well.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, you don't see any secondary storage facility for this house. It looks like everything that they have, they just really try to use their space effectively.
Carl, keep your eyes out. See if there's anything that looks like maybe a small trail. As a child, it's common to, venture in the vicinity, and we're looking for a hiding place of some sort that a child might secret away something they think is valuable.
Okay, I could do that, so I'll patrol the grounds, keeping extra note of any pathway or clearing or trodden path.
Sure. Give me a... Nah, you know what? You're good. You find a small trail. You don't need to roll anything for that. Yeah, you find a small trail that goes off into the woods a little bit.
I will follow it.
Looks like it's pretty well worn. Yeah, you go over to it and follow it. Nigel, if you're following along, that's totally fine.
Yep.
And you come to essentially like an even smaller clearing. It almost doesn't even necessarily look like a clearing, but it looks like it was a small little farm patch where they were growing some plants. Like some now are actually no, they would still nope, they would be wilted. Never mind. So everything that is in there is pretty spoiled or about to just go bad. But it looks like Call, give me a nature check.
10 plus 5 is 15.
It looks like they grew herbs. They would grow different sort of herbs, medicinal or otherwise, and that's probably how they made their living out here in the forest. They would trade with nearby towns and yeah.
Well, that's not what we were looking for, but that's an interesting fact of their establishment.
Nigel, give me an intelligence check.
How smart is this wizard?
We'll see how fast you can read the book.
4 plus... It's Sorry, did you say intelligence?
Yep.
6. 10.
10. Okay, yeah. You're not like speed reading it or anything. With everything else that's going on, you're also trying to stay a little bit alert. You're about halfway through the book. You haven't seen any mention. You've seen Mr. Tummy Buns has been mentioned many times, almost on every single page, which is why it's sort of taking you a while. It seems like this was this little girl's probably only friend besides her parents. But besides that, it doesn't mention any sort of hiding place yet.
Does it sound like, does she talk about feeding it at all?
Oh, she talks about doing basically everything. Feeding, eating with it, playing, having parties, playing dress up, all sorts of stuff.
All right, I'll keep perusing it though, seeing if I can find a hiding spot reference.
Sounds good.
So I spent some time looking at the grounds. What if I was looking up in the trees a little bit, if there's any treehouse or hideaway that a child could get to?
Yeah, absolutely. You take some time and you try to look for any sort of craft that's in trees. You don't see anything like that. You don't see any sort of tree house or nothing like that. Not in these trees.
Well, have I covered most of the grounds at this point, or just that one path?
So you've gone onto the path. You sort of have looked around the house itself and the clearing that the house is in. Yeah, you've covered quite a bit. You've really looked at a fair decent amount.
We'll just do one complete patrol around the perimeter of the building before going back in.
Sure. That sounds good. Give me a perception check when you do that.
Perceptive bird. 20 plus 5 is 25.
Wow. Okay, 25. Sounds good. You notice as you are walking along the perimeter, Nigel sort of in tow, one of the trees that's near the axe, or where the axe was, rather, that was embedded into the stump, has like a gnarled and twisted opening on it.
Whoa. I would like to go inspect that.
Sounds good. Yeah, it has an opening. It's pretty dark inside.
Oh, it's just like a cave-in within the tree itself?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Hello? I would like to speak down the tree. Hello?
You don't hear anything.
Hello? Okay, I'll reach down.
It's a little echoey. Yeah, you reach into this tree. It almost looks like it was maybe hollowed out by some sort of bird or something like that. And you feel something soft and squishy.
Is it gross?
No.
Well,
Feels like a pillow almost.
I'll grab it.
You grab it. It is it looks like a ragtag sort of doll made out of a pillow. It has sort of a patchwork of sewn on floppy ears. It has buttons for eyes and for a nose, and looks like it has like sewn little whiskers on it with like overalls that are sort of adorned on it. It is a patchwork of different colors. It looks like it was made out of old fabrics, and maybe a discarded old pillow that the family no longer needed. Nigel, you instantly recognize that this must be Mr. Tummy Buns.
Why, Mr. Tummy Buns, we've been looking for you. Is there anything else in there, Carl?
In this? Or in the tree?
In the tree.
Oh, I don't know. I'll go reach in again.
Absolutely. You sort of feel around at the base of the, sort of when your hand is inside there, panning around looking for whatever. You feel something cold and sort of not sharp like painful, but like hard edges.
I will grab it and pull it out.
Absolutely, you do so. It is a red gem that looks like it has been sort of flawlessly cut. It is about the size of your, we'll say, a little bit larger than your palm. It radiates almost a slight amount of warmth to it. And as you hold it, it starts to get hotter and hotter.
This is very hot.
You take 10 damage.
Ow! Jeez. I would like to...
It falls to the ground. You could tell now that it was actually radiating light as you were holding it. And as it falls to the ground, it dims. And it looks like it's just a normal gem again.
Wow, that is hot. Jeez. Nigel, come look at this.
Did I
I'm
hear
looking
him
at it.
yell out from inside the cottage?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, then if I heard that, then I'm going to be running out, dagger drawn.
I would
You
be
do so.
I would be doing this with my hand.
Yeah, you have burns. You can almost see like an indent or burn marks on your hand of where that gem was
And
sitting.
there's like steam and it smells like chicken off my hand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to command Goop to go and heal Carl, and I'm going to pick up a rag and try to pick the gem up.
Absolutely. You command Goop. It grabs out the record, puts it into the top of its head, twists it until it clicks into place. And it heals you, Call, for
Big money, big money.
6.
Nice. Now I'm only a bit singed. Thanks, Scoop.
Ribbons will walk over and go, "Wow, what have you found? Are you okay? Did you get hurt?"
It's a bit hot. It reminds me of an old school game we would play in the Kenku schools called Ouch, that potato is so hot it burned my hand. But this is a gem and not a potato.
He'll
Does
look
it burn
over
you?
your hand.
Does it burn
You
me
grab
when I
it.
pick it up?
You grab it with the cloth.
Yeah.
It feels warm through the cloth, and you can see it's starting to glow brighter.
I put it back down.
It stops glowing once you do that.
Could I try picking it up as well? I mean,
You can
I've
certainly try.
got a bit of fire in me, so I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
try see if I can't. I'll pick it up through the cloth first, though.
Yeah. The same thing. It starts to glow, and it does feel like it is getting a little warmer.
How much warmer?
Well, you picked it up for a few seconds, so it's just warm. Maybe like you're holding it's getting hotter. Let's put it that way.
Okay. I'm going to toss it to the other hand and see if it resets or if it just keeps getting hotter.
Absolutely. You do so, and now you do not have a cloth in the way. You take 5 points of damage because you're resistant to fire damage.
Oh, that's
You
what I was
didn't
going
know
to say.
that, by the way.
I did know that. I
Good.
did know that I was resistant to fire damage, which is why I picked it up.
So it hurts, but not as much.
Not as much. Okay. Nigel, have you ever heard of a gem like this? A gem that is basically untouchable. And if it touches something else, it makes that thing burn as well, according to the letter we read.
Okay, you take 5 more points of damage.
Oh shit! I forgot to drop it.
Yes, you did.
She's just casually asking, Nigel, what about this thing? And it's like...
I'm just that much of a badass. It just doesn't hurt that bad, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what you're whinging about over there.
Okay, you take 5 more
No,
points
I
of damage.
dropped it after the second time.
Did you? Because you didn't say you did.
I did.
Okay. So, Mikey, you take 15 points of damage, though.
He's not messing around with this gem.
And I dropped it. I set it gingerly down on the grass.
Okay. Ow, ow, ow.
Gem 25 damage, Wayfarers 0.
And we knew. It was going to.
Do you have the box of the sword? I could get the sword box and see if we can put it in that.
Well, you asked Nigel a question, right? As you were cooking your hand, is that right?
Oh,
I-
yeah. So I can go into my mind
roll-
palace and check my arcana.
Yep, exactly what I was gonna say.
We got 15, and it should be like a +4 or something. +6, 21.
Absolutely. You are familiar on enchantments and enhancement to weapons and different gears and things like that. There's a whole school of magic dedicated to this type of magic. It's not your preferred school, but you certainly know quite a lot about it. You know that some enchantments are too strong to be put in just into, for instance, like a cloak or a weapon, and they have to be focused inside some kind of catalyst, a gem, some other charm of some sort, and that holds the magic and sort of doles it out as it's needed in that weapon. You assume that's what this is here. Reading the note and sort of the diary, you figure that the gem more than likely would go into the sword that you guys can't seem to find or has been stolen. And you know that on their own, with a 21, actually, you'd be able to recall quite a lot. You know that gems of power like this on their own are fairly unstable and can be, we'll say, unpredictable when they don't have their their host device that they're being slotted into. So that is more than likely why it is hurting you guys to hold.
And the Bob, before he became Zombie Bob, did say in his note that it hurt beforehand. So maybe this is just such a powerful enchantment you can kind of only really, if it's not being released regularly, that basically the fire and burning and light magic within it kind of can't really be contained. Or maybe he wasn't using it correctly, but definitely this is a very powerful enchantment of sorts. So yeah, if we can put it back into the sword, maybe we could find a way to not burn ourselves, keep it in the box, pull it out only in combat, unleash its power on enemies, and then put it back in the box. Could be a useful weapon for you, Mendax, but it's definitely not something to screw around with.
Oh,
Yeah.
what if we put it onto the scythe?
Your scythe doesn't really have it. You would have to talk with and probably pay someone who specifically can enchant this sort of gear. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but being that your weapon does already have magic imbued in it, it is a very hefty price to do like dual enchantments in a weapon.
Yes, to combine that, you would need a master craftsman and enchanter in one, or maybe even a few of the best craftsmen you could find. You'd need to be in a city like Tol Karabad to get something like that done. It would cost a fortune, probably more than all of us have on us entirely in gold, and that would be
that would be tens of thousands of gold to do something like that, to modify an already magically enchanted weapon to now have something additional.
Well, it was a nice idea.
Yeah.
On that note, seems the sword's been taken. So the gem got put here. They had the sword stored. He was going to take it into the town, and then they were murdered for it, maybe? I'm not quite sure.
Well,
It could simply have been brigands coming to steal their supplies, but you said it looked like the way they turned down the house, they were looking for something specific. So maybe they were trying to regain the sword. Perhaps they'd hidden it out in the forest in a hiding place. They came back to retrieve it, saw that he'd taken it, tracked it down here, and then tried to get it back. I guess that
sounds good.
The most likely thing.
Could have been, yes. I mean, they were whoever searched this place before us was definitely not a run-of-the-mill domestic forager. They were looking for something very specific.
They were not professionals.
No. They were actually very sloppy. I mean, if I were them, I'd be a bit embarrassed at the state I left that place in, quite frankly.
Well, perhaps, I mean, it's been too long. We're not going to be able to track them. So I don't think there's any real way of hunting them down other than keeping an eye out for swords that are missing a socket for a gem to be placed in them.
We'd like to look through the woods and just check for any swords.
I'm going to go back inside for the sword box. But
Okay.
I'm going to grab Mr. Tommy Buns and take him in with me.
Okay. Yeah, you do so.
Is Mr. Tummy Buns large enough that there might be, say, for example, a sword inside?
It'd have to be a very small sword or a dagger.
I'm just
You
wondering if
don't
it's one of
think
those
there's a
huge
sword.
panda stuffed animals,
No, it's not. It's like it's literally a pillow that has been like sewn onto to be a doll, makeshift doll.
Oh, I had an idea.
Okay.
So
Sure.
the sword box had the impression of the shape of the sword, right?
Correct.
What if we compared that to Bob's wound to see if he was stabbed with that sword?
Yeah, maybe.
Too much decay. There's no way you'd be able to compare it. I mean, I can make an illusion of a black light, and we can look for certain sorts of stains as well. But this isn't exactly an episode of CSI, Carl.
Basically, can we tell by the imprint whether it was a rapier or a broadsword? Because that's about the only difference. That would be a very noticeable difference to the eye, whether someone was stabbed with a rapier or if someone was stabbed with a broadsword. Not that it really matters. They're still stabbed and dead. I'm just saying that would
Yeah, absolutely. You can
also, I want to know
tell.
what kind of sword it is.
Yeah, for sure. It is the imprint of the sword that's in the box. It does look like it is more sleek and slender than sort of large and bastardous, if you will. And the incision that is on Bob the Zombie, though it decayed, and Nigel is right, it would be extremely difficult to know with any sort of certainty. It certainly wasn't like a gigantic slash or anything. If that, it rules out like axes and maybe scythes and huge swords. But it certainly could have been done by a dagger. It could have been done by maybe it was done by the sword that's in the case.
So we've narrowed it down to any sort of sword or knife stabbing object that is not the huge category.
It is not big. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Fair enough. I'm going to collect the box, but before I do, I'd like to give Mr. Tammy Buns back to Sally. If I could put it on her lap, or just put it near her.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that.
Oh.
You take alignment damage.
I've taken alignment damage.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Chaotic good.
You're doing way too many good deeds. Yeah, you go ahead and get the box though.
Okay, then take the box back out.
Okay. Yeah, back out there with the box.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if this is if it's rather a large box for a small gem. I don't know if any other box or receptacle will be just fine in holding it and keeping us safe in our packs. I mean, it didn't burn down the tree, so I assume that perhaps any pack or box around it would be enough.
Yeah, probably. But the box would certainly, it seems like that could possibly work.
Do you
Are
want
you
to try
the
it?
box?
Let's try it.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to quickly pick up the gem and put it in the box and drop it before it burns me.
I would like to look at the
Absolutely.
box, fully expecting it to catch fire.
Sure. Do you like put the lid back on real quick, or are you just like drop it in the box and see what it does?
Drop it in the box, see what it does.
Yeah, it lights up for a moment as you touch it. Not like radiantly or anything, but you can see it's starting to kind of glow and get brighter and brighter. But you very quickly put that into the box, and it begins to dim. until
okay.
it is until there is no glow coming from it whatsoever.
Okay, so as long as I guess we're not in contact with whatever it's in contact with. Can I pick up the box now? I'm going to leave the lid off, but I'm going to pick up the box and see if it starts to glow.
Sure. You do so, and it does not begin to glow.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So
Perfection.
pop the lid back on. Oh,
I just got a crazy idea.
What?
If we are fighting bandits and enemies, what if we took the gem, and then you know how you put an ice cube down someone's shirt? You could take this and put it down their shirt, and they'll be like, ow, ooh, ow, 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 and it would
No,
burn
even
them.
better. Put it down their pants.
Whoa.
The shirts are probably untucked. Then, I mean, the bandits, though, they're not going to have the best fashion
You're saying
sense or the
bandits
most
don't tuck
decorum.
their shirts as a rule?
I mean, how many bandits do you know that dress nicely and tuck their shirts in to look presentable?
This is why I don't try to give you guys magic items. It's like, let's stick it down people's pants.
So that's like burn someone's pecker off with
Yeah.
a magic burning gem.
She's out here stereotyping bandits, just trying to get her alignment back.
I'm gonna make sure that all the bandits now tucked in.
And a group of 6 bandits with neatly tucked in shirts show up.
I'm just saying, if we're going to go for maximum damage with the burning gem, putting it down the pants is going to do the maximum damage versus putting it down a shirt. Most likely. Otherwise, you just get a burnt nip. They do this, and it's done. Good luck getting it out of your pants.
To be fair, I do already enjoy catapulting rocks at people for damage, and catapulting a rock into someone that then sets them on fire would make me a special sort of happy.
So you're saying you want to carry this?
Wouldn't go that far.
I'm just gonna throw out there that Mendex, you know that this thing is worth a lot of money. So I just want to make sure that's super clear to everybody that's present and everyone in the chat as well.
Who would buy this, though?
I'm just letting you know.
Lots of people would buy it.
You do whatever the hell you want with this gem, but you know that this would be like enough for a heist on its own. In the old days, you would if you could steal something like this, oh baby, you would be set.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it in the box on me for
Catapult
now.
it away if you want.
This is worth a lot of money.
More than
Like-
5 gold?
Yes, I'm really trying not to lie so that you wouldn't expect a larger cut.
More than 25 gold?
A lot more than... think more hundreds and thousands.
100,000 gold?
This thing could keep a village fed very easily.
No, it couldn't. That would burn them in the mouth.
Not if you stuck it down their pants first. So I will just hold on to this for now. We probably don't want to go tossing it about. Unless we absolutely have to.
Okay, sounds good. We'll say it's now in the afternoon. Getting towards more so dusk.
Well, it seems like we've more or less inspected this place more thoroughly than it deserved and found something very expensive and dangerous. And dead people who smell terrible. And we met
It's
Bob.
not their fault. They're dead.
How are you doing there, Bob? And I will look over at him, expecting him to say something.
Nope, he has no jaw, even if he could talk.
I will nod in agreement with him.
He kind of just is like swaying as he tries to stay stabilized.
Good Good chap, that Bob.
Strong and silent. You know, got to respect that.
Doesn't complain much, even for being undead.
Or for having his whole family murdered, including his small child.
Yeah.
And him.
Now look at that. He's smug. I think he's smiling because he knows the bandits didn't find the thing. Well, if they were bandits.
It's certainly not smiling. But if you want to think he is, you can do that.
I will do so.
Okay. Nah,
If we
all
find
you.
these bandits, though, we'll know who they are, I suppose, because they'll have the sword. I'm going to fucking kill them. I mean, they have to die. Are we in agreement with this? If we run into these said bandits, I don't think we should show much mercy.
Well, our whole mission
know
was
for
to
a
go
fact-
kick their butts.
Yes, well, they might not be the same bandits, but if they are, definitely death.
And we can tell by the tucked shirts.
We can tell because the shirts will be tucked in and they'll have the sword.
The sword's tucked in their shorts.
Goes right through the belt loop, which also has a belt in it, keeping the pants really sealed off tight.
It's good that they can afford belts.
Man's not a man without a proper belt, and all of the belts will match their boots as well.
I'm pretty sure someone could qualify as a man without a belt.
You ever seen one?
Yes.
I haven't.
You've seen a lot of belts.
Taken off a lot of belts.
Okay, that's bringing us back for our break. About halfway through. You guys found the gem. Good job. Let's go take a
Hooray!
back and play some more.
I just meant that I wear lots of belts.
Yeah. I'm
We
sure
just
that's
get
what you meant.
asymptotically approaching PG-13, and then we go full past PG-13, and it's like, oh, that's time for a break.
Good time for a break.
Fine.
See you guys in a bit.
Well, the team has successfully inspected the house. After we've gone and thought about our sins, we will return for the second part of Wayfarers. Nigel, are you ready? Mendax, are you ready?
I'm fucking ready.
You're ready, alright. And we're going back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wayfarers, Episode 3, Part 2. Before, the team arrived at a very spooky house, which smelled way worse than they would have expected. Inside, they found a variety of clues, and there are feathers all over the place. They found a very expensive gem as we continue with Wayfarers. Wait! Also remember that crabs are the best, and lobsters are just way overpriced for how good they taste. And we continue with Wayfarers.
That is true. They used to feed lobsters to the poor people. They thought that was poor people food way
It was
long
peasant
ago.
food until the rich
Yeah.
people found out how fucking
How
delicious
awesome it
they
is.
are.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're. I mean, I guess everything is really overpriced, but man,
Yeah.
you get a really good
Absolutely.
lobster.
Haven't had a
Oh,
good
yeah.
lobster in a long time.
Even like a good lobster bisque.
Oof. I love a good lobster bisque. Yikes, that sounds so good. Well, no lobster bisque happening in the game right now. Unfortunately, death and sadness. That's all we've got for dinner tonight.
What about
I don't know what
stonefish?
Nope.
Oh.
Fucking smells
Uh,
like stonefish in there.
You were able to get the gem into the box, and it is seemingly stable in there. It's not catching on fire. It doesn't look like it's radiating any heat. You feel fairly confident while in there.
Okay. I think it might be, unless either of you have something else you'd like to do here, I think it's probably about time for us to go.
I would like to check
It is getting, fairly close to dark, just so you know.
I was going to check to see if my shirt was tucked in, but then I realized as a Kenku, I don't really wear shirts. So
Really.
I would just...
You can if you want.
I could.
You have a cape.
It's a good cape.
Yeah.
Some call
You
it
wear
cloak.
pants?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
I'm kind of like an Incredible Hulk. Sort of a...
Okay, got it.
Yeah, he hulks it. He doesn't Winnie the Pooh it.
What?
Yep.
Oh,
Purple
Winnie the
shirt and
Pooh
pants.
wears a shirt but no pants.
Exactly. I think
Right.
you don't Winnie the Pooh it. You hulk it.
Are we hulking or whinnying?
Hulking.
We're hulking.
You just Pooh Bearing around.
Just Pooh Bearing around.
I'm a
dude.
bird, not a
Shirt
bear.
only. What a D-gen thing to do. Shirt only. Can you imagine? Jeez Louise. Yeah, I wear a shirt and that's it.
Welcome to episode
If
3,
you don't wear
Wayfarers, where we
pants,
talk shit
no
about
one can
Winnie the
shove a
Pooh.
burning gem down there.
It's true.
It's not as cute as a girl walking around in her boyfriend's oversized shirt when it's a bird doing it and there's bird bits hanging out, mate.
We just took a break for this. Yeah, you guys, what would you like to do? Yeah, up to you. It is getting dark. You're more than welcome to continue on the trail. You can set up camp here. You tell me what we're doing here. You got about another probably 3 days travel until you reach this cave where the bandits have supposedly taken up residence.
Well, I think we
This
should
would be
move in that direction, no?
We should definitely. How much longer, or how much daylight do we have left?
Maybe 2 hours.
Do you feel like it's worth moving in that direction for 2 hours to have an exposed camp, or do we?
I guess
Camp
we
here.
could camp here. I'm not sleeping inside the house though.
What if we take the bodies out?
It's still going to smell terribly.
Yeah, no, it's
Or open the window?
it's worse than that.
You're
It's in
welcome
the
to.
floorboards. The smell is seeped into the walls.
The
and the
windows
roof.
are blacked out with fly gunk. It's
Well, I'm not licking the windows.
there's
Honestly.
a perfectly good clearing out front.
We should
Sleep
move.
50 yards or
The
so from the
operative
house.
term being clearing, meaning you don't have walls to defend you, meaning you can be attacked from any angle.
I'm just
at
gonna
any
start
time.
walking off as they're doing this.
Oh god damn it! Fine.
Look,
All right,
Nigel
so
was talking
you,
about boundaries earlier, about what a necromancer will or will not do. For me, I'll eat stuff that's gross. I'll bite a sludge blob monster. But that house is just too far. I won't sleep in there tonight. And I think we should get a good safe distance from it. It's
Honestly,
gross.
Probably wouldn't even be the worst place I've ever slept. You guys are, I don't know, a little bit posh, I guess, but fine.
But
you know?
a bit posh. 3 dead corpses rotting on the... Well, sorry, Bob.
Only
2 corpses
now.
rotting on the floor.
Only, and 2 of them were in chairs. Only one on the floor, who's now walking next to us.
I will continue
That's
walking
fine.
forward now.
We're going to be,
I
we're
would
going
be
to
shocked if
sharing
anyone
the
else.
clearing with one of them.
If anyone else said that wouldn't be the worst place they've ever slept, I'd be shocked. But Mendak, seeing the decisions you make after your 6th or 7th ale, honestly, I'm not surprised.
I mean, I have some stories, but for another time. Just saying. Bodies outside, open the windows, fine. Light a fire. Don't light a fire, actually. Smoke lit. People know exactly where you are, but... Very defensible position. That's all I'm saying. Fine. Let's go out into nature. Love nature. So wonderful having large fucking trolls stomp down on you in the middle of the night. It's great. Let's just go.
I would be mocking what she's saying, like, but she can't see it.
Absolutely. So okay, through this argument, I'm just you guys are going forward into nature, yes?
Yes.
Yes. We're going into nature.
Okay. Yeah, you guys do so. So you argue off into the woods. Nigel, make an intelligence check.
Wow, my rolls. Let's hope we don't have any combat today, because I've used up all my good rolls. 17 intelligence, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
23.
As you walk away, you realize you did not give Bob a new command, and he is still standing there.
Bob, come, Bob.
He follows.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, I am just going to throw it out there now that you are taking him away from his family in their final resting place.
It's okay, Mendax. It's for vengeance. So if Bob...
I'm also going to put out there that you left those 2 just sitting in chairs rotting.
Right, but
If they
she did get
We
them.
had 2 hours. My next thing was going to be we could just take them out and bury them properly.
She gave the
People
child
could
a
bury
stuffed
them.
animal.
One person could be cleaning the house a bit, sweeping it out, and then clean a house and proper burial. But you know they're already running through the woods.
Guys, do
Well,
whatever you want.
Time's short, and I'm not feeling that sentimental. I could tell Bob to try and bury them. I don't think it'll work. He's really only able to follow very simple commands.
You could just say dig.
He'd probably mess it up, honestly.
That is very true. Okay, you guys head off into the woods. You now have a 5th companion on your party, which is the Undead Zombie, who I've decided that we're naming Bob, but you can at any point decide that you may want to name him something else, or don't have a name. Yeah, you are able to walk for about an hour before it starts to get much, much darker. Light is slipping away. You have probably an hour of light left. Would you like to continue and set up camp in the dark, or are you going to... What would you like to do?
We could set up camp in the dark. We have 3 people with dark vision.
And Nigel, who cannot see in the dark.
He wouldn't
Okay.
want to set it up anyway.
I won't be able to set up? Oh, I guess I'll have to sit there and sit
I
back
was
and
going to say, I'm
relax while
pretty
you set
sure
up
that
camp
this has
again.
happened before. Nigel, oh, I don't have dark vision. I guess I can't help. Oh no.
Oh no. Fantastic.
I make the fire. It takes me a solid 3 seconds to drop a cantrip. It's very difficult, okay? You have to dig a hole for me first, though, because I can't see.
Bob's got to dig your hole. That's why you have Bob.
I'm pretty sure he'd fall in.
You guys let me know how long you would like to go for.
We'll go until nightfall.
Okay. You walk for another hour. Again, just to give you a reflection of the forest, it is we'll say, dreadfully silent. There is no birds, no beasts, or even bugs that are really making any noise. You look up into the sky, and instead of stars, you just see the swirling black kind of masses that are the clouds. There's barely any moonlight that shines through once the moon does come up, as it is pretty much blocked out completely by the sky. It falls into a curtain of darkness, and it becomes a bit more difficult for those of you without night vision to really find their way around the roots and the gnarled ground and twisted woods. For you, Mendax and Call and Ribbons, you're able to proceed without issue. Bob stumbles every now and again and falls, but then just kind of gets back up and keeps going without a care in the world. Nigel, you fall several times, and you are less happy about it than Bob is.
Well, since Nigel's having some difficulty, it is getting rather dark. We could set up here.
Indeed.
Okay. Fantastic. Nigel, I guess, is sitting up to the side, and Call, Mendax, and Ribbons can set up whatever sort of makeshift camp you guys are looking for. Who is going to look for a clearing? We'll see how good of one you can find. Okay, give me a perception.
Oh,
You
shit.
search around.
I should have looked for it. My perception's always so shit. 11 total.
Okay, the best one you can find is not great, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot of, great pickings. The clearing that the house was built in was the best one you've seen so far since you've been in the forest. This one does have twisted roots that are coming up through the ground. It looks like it's going to be an uncomfortable night of sleep for you guys once again.
Man, really too bad we didn't stay in the best clearing or the best, defensible position we've seen yet on this journey. Damn.
At least it doesn't smell like rotting corpses.
No, it just feels like you're laying on them.
Oh, no, actually, it does still smell like rotting corpses because you literally brought a rotting corpse with you.
Bob, could you keep it down? Jeez. There he goes farting again.
Like those are the gases building up and then exploding.
Can you make him stand a bit further away?
Yeah, make him stand downwind.
Okay. I lick my finger, and I figure out which way the wind is going, and I then
realize you haven't washed your hands since the house and you were touching things. Tastes gross.
I was thinking that same thing.
Shit. And you basically
like
never get to wash our hands because there's next to no water in this world as well. It's hard to get clean water. Okay, so I tell him to go about maybe 100 feet or so downwind and tell him to just stand guard.
Okay. Towards the cabin or towards your destination, shall we say?
Probably towards the destination.
All right. And how far away can this guy go from you?
He'll just keep following the command until he falls apart. Like, I could just disappear.
You could just leave him there forever. I see. Got it. Alrighty then.
And then he'll fall apart, like, just before midday the next day, basically.
He will not. He'll actually still be a zombie. You just won't control him anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He'll just no longer be following whatever that command was, and he'll just now be a regular zombie that you've brought into the
eat
world.
your brain zombie? Or just a shamble about zombie?
Oh, he'll kill. He definitely knows how to kill.
I mean, if you were to lose control of him, would he wake up to him eating someone's face? Well, trying to without a jaw, gumming someone's face.
He is a zombie. It just happens to be that Nigel controls him at this moment in time.
Yes.
Yep. He goes 100 feet into the direction that you pointed, which is apparently downwind, and stands there. And you said you want him to guard. All right.
Yeah, I mean, God just means he'll kill shit that comes our way, right? Or
It means he will try.
yeah, sounds fine. I mean, would he attack like a random animal?
Guard. Usually, I don't know. We'll say just for the sake of not being too complicated, guard will mean against hostile creatures.
You
I don't
won't
know,
go
that's kinda
chasing a
difficult.
rabbit for 10 hours.
What would be your intention? How about that? What would you want him to do? Would you want him to attack literally anything that comes towards him that's not you? Or do you want him to...
Only if something is hostile. So if something's clearly hostile, he can defend himself. Otherwise, he can literally just chill. So I'll just get him to... We're going to have to leave someone on guard anyway. We're definitely not relying on Bob
Okay.
to keep watch over us while we sleep. Yeah.
So the way that the spell works is he will defend himself if he is attacked. Unless you say otherwise. He will, unless you specifically say, go attack this person or something like that.
Yeah.
So you want him to just basically sit over there until he is attacked.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. He does that. He shambles off.
Look at him shamble over there. Amazing.
Sure. Why not? Yeah. Okay, you guys spend maybe, 20, 30 minutes getting everything kind of unpacked and your bed rolls out. And are you going to start a fire or no fire tonight? It is quite cold.
I think we should dig a pit. I can just put a fire in there. I think it should be fine.
Sure, I can dig a big one.
Okay. It takes you probably about another 20 to 30 minutes, we'll say, to dig like a hole that's deep enough, large enough, and also not impeded on by roots. Because again, there's a lot of roots that is in the area, sort of blocking a lot of different paths. So it takes you about 30 minutes to dig that. You can't make a extraordinarily large fire. It's not like a bonfire size, but you can make a fairly small one in there if you like.
Yeah. I'll just cast bonfire and then let it get smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fine. Okay. Yeah, Ribbons is just he's chilling. What would you guys like to do? What's your arrangement for the night?
We could set up a watch order. Nigel first, watching. Then he can go to sleep for the rest of the night. And then maybe Ribbons, then me, then Mendax. And we roll.
It's probably the least dangerous time is right after going to sleep, so probably the best time for me to watch. If I least chance of me having to wake one of you up to see out into the dark. But I'll be able to listen and at least try to keep my senses alert.
You'll have Ratty as well. I think last night you had him on patrol a bit.
Oh yeah. I can actually set Ratty to patrol as well. That's a good idea. So I'll send Ratty to this direction from which we came, and I'll get him to just kind of patrol out in that direction, 50 or 100, maybe 100 feet out roughly.
Okay, so he's just going to kind of patrol around.
Yeah, he's just going to wander around and kind of run over and jump on me if he finds anything.
Sure, you have like a telepathic link with Ratty. It's much more sophisticated than it is with, for instance, Zombie Bob.
Yeah, even if I'm asleep, he can just kind of wake me up.
Yeah,
right,
he can actually just pretty much. Okay, yeah, sounds fantastic. Anything you want to do before you guys try to get to sleep, or is it just off to bed and start your watch rotations?
All right. We haven't eaten anything all day yet, have we? Which is probably good because it's going to help conserve our rations. But I feel like we should maybe take a couple of nibbles of food and a little swig of water before going to bed.
Wouldn't hurt.
I was a little bit put off my appetite with the smell of that place. But we will need our energy for tomorrow. I'll have some jerky or something.
Okay, sounds good. You guys each chow down on whatever rations you feel like you want to eat. You are fairly hungry. It has been a very kind of long day of thinking and searching and investigating. And then you tuck in for the night, we'll say. Nigel, give me a d20.
And then he's already smug and smiling.
6. Just a D20, not a perception, right?
Yep, just a d20. You rolled a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, give me a perception.
14.
14. You hear nothing, but you tell that Bob is dead.
Oh. Shit. So I don't hear it, but I just sense basically. Okay, I can't give orders to him anymore.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay. All right. I will wake up Mendax.
Okay. You wake Mendax. Mendax is awake.
Bob's dead. I had no warning. I just know that he's been killed by something. He was 100 feet downwind that way. I don't hear or smell anything. I haven't woken the others yet.
I'll try to creep that way to see if I can't see anything. You go ahead and wake up the others because we might need them. I'd rather wake them up for a couple minutes and not need them than the other way around.
Good call. All right, I'll gently wake Carl and Ribbons.
And I'm going to sneak about in that direction.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Stonefish.
It's a 13 plus 9.
Okay. And give me a perception. What is your sort of, what are you doing going out there?
I mean, I'm looking in the direction of where Bob was, and I'm trying to see if I can't see what, attacked him, how his life ended, and also keeping my eyes on the flanks to see, make sure I'm not seeing anything or anyone passing me in the dark.
Sure, so are you heading that direction towards where Bob was?
Yes, but not in a direct line, off to the side a bit, so that if somebody was coming in a direct line to the camp, I would see them.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, give me a perception while you do that.
It's a 1, but plus 1.
Oh, yes. Okay, great.
That helps.
Yeah.
Totally doubled my score on that.
Lots of sleep in the eyes, eh?
How
Still
far
a
out
bit
are you gonna
foggy.
go? Are you gonna go all 100 feet to where Bob was, or are you gonna stop, like, eventually?
I'm gonna go
and
at
come back?
least halfway, and then if I don't see anything, I might go a bit further. So
Okay,
kind of stop and check at 50 feet, and then go a bit further.
You go 50 feet. You hear and see nothing out of the ordinary. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, then I think I need to go a bit further.
Okay, sure. I'm not gonna let you re-roll your perception though.
Come on!
That's 2, man. That's what you got. You can't just fish for more attempts. That's not how that works.
Can I get a mulligan?
Because I'm also I assume I have to re-roll the stealth as well. I could step on a branch or something.
No, you don't have to re-roll your stealth. You can keep your 19.
And this is you're
So-
a nasty god tonight, apoptosis.
Mendax didn't go in a straight line, by the way, right? You said you kind of curved
Yeah, I
down
wanted
in that
to
direction.
go around. Yes.
Okay, so I see the direction you left, and once I've woken these, I think I'll send Ratty in the other direction as well to kind of circle in that direction, because obviously he's on the other side. He'll take forever to get there, but
Yeah. Yeah, so you woke up Call and Ribbons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Call wakes up at the start. Ribbons just kind of flicks his eyes open silently and kind of creeps up. Gets up. What's going on?
Something killed Bob.
What's he already dead?
can't take care of a zombie.
Something dismantled him. Yeah. He's no longer reanimated, but I don't know what. I had no warning and there was no sound. So I've sent Mendax to go scout for it. I'm waking you in case there's trouble.
Ah, okay. Sounds like a good plan. You're a good leader.
Do you sense anything, Carl?
Yes.
What?
There's a big, thick bird in the camp. He's been woken up right in the middle of a good dream having stonefish. I'm pissed.
I'm sorry.
You sent Ratty out, right?
Yeah.
Give me a stealth check for Ratty. I believe you have his stats, I think. Does he have stats?
I think all familiars have the same stat. Oh, actually, does it have the same stats?
He's like a
as the animal?
rat, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I think
that's
he's
cool.
just like a rat. I rolled a
Alright, just-
20 anyway, so...
Okay, he's good on that. Give me a perception check for Ratty. He gets, I think, a bonus if it smells, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
But yeah, give me a
Well-
perception check.
We rolled a 5.
A 5.
Statistics of the chosen form. Yeah, it just has celestial, fey, or fiend instead
Yeah,
of beast.
he has-
Otherwise, it's just a rat.
He has advantage on wisdom saving throws that rely on smell. Ratty, how far off do you want him to go?
Basically, I mean, he's circling, so he's going to try and go the full 100, 150 feet. So we're trying to send him basically right to where Bob was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would take him. What is the speed of a rat? Wow, it's 30. Okay, it's 30.
Yeah.
So it'd take him about half a minute to get over there. Yeah, he does not report anything. He doesn't smell anything, which is what he reports back first. You get the sense of, anyways. He doesn't like talk to you. You just get the impression, right? And he doesn't see anything. And he reaches Bob's corpse. You can see through him, right? Is that how that
Yeah,
works?
I would walk into him once he gets there. Like, once
Sure.
he notifies me of anything he sees, yeah.
Sure. You get there. Mendax, are you also? Well, we'll go to Mendax first. Mendax, are you? So you go the rest of the distance. Is that right?
Yes, because
Uh,
if I can't see anything, I want to see what happened to him. Like, did he just fall into a fucking ditch and a stick fell through his head? You know, what happened?
Sure. You go the rest of the way again, seeing, hearing, and smelling nothing that is not just kind of natural to the forest, we'll say. You reach the corpse before Ratty does. You see that it has been cut clean in half in like one swipe.
Like vertically?
Nah, like kind of horizontal. We'll say shoulder to hip. How about that?
Oh wow, like bandolier style.
Yeah, bandolier style.
Slice. Shit. Okay, if I can't, I know I need to get back and let my campmates know that this is definitely some sentient type of attack. So
Mhm.
I'm going to look on. I should check my surroundings, make sure that he's not behind a tree right, near me,
Okay.
and then head back towards the camp.
Sure. Give me a perception for right around you.
Let's go. Don't you fuck me on this dice. I think I've rolled a 1 twice for perception tonight.
I think you have.
Moving on up, though, to a 4. Plus
Nice.
1. Number
That's
5.
sick.
Again, DiMaggio, Johnny Bench. Very strong people. Very strong number.
I like how you're an advocate for the low numbers of a d20. Just talking them up as much as you
They
can.
just don't get enough appreciation is all I'm saying.
Maybe that 5, if you argue it up, could get you in the 10s bracket.
You know what? Generally speaking, a 5 is considered very high. Otherwise, you wouldn't call it a
No,
high
it's not.
5.
No.
You'd call it a low 5.
This is a low 5.
No,
This is what we call a low
I'm sure
5.
all 5s are high.
No, not if I go down low. Which
That's a
is where
down
you
low.
are on that 5 right now. You don't see anything. It's crazy. I know. It's just nuts. You don't see anything hiding behind trees. You don't smell anything. You don't hear anything. That's not, again, just wind and the trees creaking and groaning. And the smell of the general toxicity of the air that sort of exists in this world.
Okay, then I'm going to just sneak my way back towards our camp.
Okay.
Keeping
Give me
my
a
eyes
stealth check.
peeled. Swear to God.
Uh-huh.
Nat 20.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure, on the one that you have +9. That's great.
So it's a +9. Yeah.
You move sightlessly and soundlessly through the forest.
Like a
I
ninja.
think I have
Smells through it.
cataracts or something. Like I must be going blind in one eye.
Yeah,
There's obviously
exactly.
a reason for this.
You just feel that you're really sneaky. Like, man, I'm so good at hiding.
Look,
God
it could
dang
be,
it.
there's no taverns or anything here, right? It's the alcohol withdrawals can start to have
There you
That's
go.
probably it, yes.
There you
It's
go.
like a blurry vision,
Absolutely.
getting the shapes.
I think something moved your camera, by the way, just a little bit, but not as
Oh,
big of
moved
a
mine.
deal. Yeah, I think one of your dogs maybe bumped into.
Oh, it was definitely one of the dogs.
Okay, just
She's
letting you
running
know.
around
It's-
underneath the desk now because apparently knocking my lights over behind me just wasn't enough.
Perfect.
And now she hit the desk.
You sneak your way back. Okay, as Ratty gets there, you kind of warg in to see Bob, and yeah, you see that Bob has been sliced clean in half. He's sort of kind of got vaporized, right? He's sort of more brittle bones and flesh than anything else, but it looks like it was as clean of a cut as it could have been.
shite. Okay. Is there a? I'm gonna look for a trail of blood or like viscera. See if there's like a direction or a trail I could pick up from. I've got dark vision. Ratty does, so maybe I can kind of see which direction it went.
You, based on where he's fallen, you can tell that whatever sliced him in half was approaching from the direction he was facing. That's it. There's no like viscera or anything. He's essentially like a hollow husk. There's really not like anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just get ready to kind of circle around from there, just investigating.
Okay.
Keeping an eye
Are you going to
out.
be warged in there?
No, I'll just tell him to, let me know if he sees any clues, and then I can kind of walk into his mind at that point.
Okay. Sounds good. Call, are you doing anything in this time?
Well, I'm
Do you
up.
relay this information, by the way, Nigel?
Yeah. Yep. Of
Okay.
course.
So poor Bob was standing watch, and someone cleaved him in half. And we don't know who or what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, if it's a full 100 feet away, Ratty can't actually move any further away than that. So if I have to, I'll like walk kind of to the edge of camp. or
Sure,
anything
sure,
like that,
sure.
like just because he has to stay within 100 feet of me. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Who would be closest now to the position that Bob, like towards the direction Bob was? Who would be closest to that side of camp?
Probably still me and Ratty, right?
Yeah, you and Ratty, but in the camp itself right now, because you're still heading back.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
me, because I'd be curious.
Okay, definitely. Call. It is pretty cold outside. Like everyone, it's pretty cold. Let's say like 30 degrees in Fahrenheit, which is some amount of degrees in Celsius. But pretty cold. But it gets drastically colder. Like it is now, for lack of a better term, fucking freezing. You can see that there is actually frost that's like approaching you on the ground, Call. It's sort of creeping up and over some of the roots. You can almost hear the frost, like ice crystals forming and kind of snapping a little bit as they head over top and sort of climb their way over in like a wave heading towards you.
Shit. We should get the stone. Mendax, where's Mendax?
Mendax has it. She's off in the woods still.
What?
On her.
What's shit? I can't see anything.
Nigel, there's frost fast approaching the camp on the ground.
What?
Frost, ice, cold. Ooh. Brr.
I'm going to...
Yeah, it's maybe 10 feet away from you now, Call.
Is it consuming everything? Can I see it on the trees and stuff that are back there?
Yes, it's sort of like coming from, like, think of it from the ground and sort of creeping up the sides of the trees as it moves forward.
I'm going to cast a bonfire 20, 30 feet, like just out of the camp, kind of in that area to try and light things up and see what the hell is going on.
Okay, let's see. You do so, and as soon as the bonfire starts to begin to light, you see like a flash of light for a moment from the bonfire, and you can see two hooded figures in the darkness, maybe about 30 feet away from you. It's very difficult to make out anything else other than that, but instantaneously the light is put out, sort of just in a blip of flame, and that's it.
Two hooded figures approaching. Get ready to fight, Carl.
Well, then I would like to rage.
Okay, you can do so. Anything else you'd like to do? You have maybe a few moments before.
If I can't see them, I'm pretty sure I can't. Like, now that the light's out, I don't think I can shoot fire at them right now, right?
You can certainly take a shot in the dark, as they call it.
I think I'll take a firebolt in the dark then.
Okay. Give me... So firebolt, is that a reaction or is that a to hit? Like, do I have to roll to dodge it, or do you have to roll to hit me?
I think I have to just roll to hit. Normally it's just a spell attack, I believe. So...
Okay. Take it with disadvantage.
So it's hit DC plus 6, it says. So...
Let's see. Let me go to You just want to do firebolt, right?
Firebolt. Just a regular firebolt.
Yeah, range spell attack. So you just do a d20 plus 6, but you're going to do at disadvantage. So 2d20, take your lowest.
Alright. 8 plus 6, 14.
Okay, the firebolt sort of wells up into the air, and once it's reached critical mass, sort of shoots off into the darkness, into the direction of where you last saw those hooded figures. You see, again, it's illuminating the forest around it as it travels very quickly through the forest. And before it hits its destination, it smacks into the side of the tree, and a bunch of sort of sparks and little flames pitter-patter away into the darkness. You can see that where that tree was, it was maybe about 20 feet away from where you are right now. It was covered in basically almost ice crystals that were beginning to form. Mendax, you have at this point made it back to camp. You didn't notice anything with your curved path that you took. You didn't notice any cold or anything like that. More than normal.
You guys, something killed Bob, cleaved it right in half. I couldn't tell what it was, but Bob is definitely dead again.
We know, Mendax. The ground is frost. Take care.
I didn't see any frost. Shit, there is frost coming. Can I climb?
Okay.
Can I climb a nearby tree quick enough to get up?
Yeah, which tree would you like to climb in the sort of circle that is your camp? North is the direction that these things are coming towards you from. South is the direction of the house that you have just come from. Yeah.
Could I go at, like a tree that's about west then? West. a little bit
Yeah.
further north than west. I want to be on the side of them being
Absolutely.
flanking them, basically.
Yeah, we could say you could do that before they potentially arrive. So you want to take
I
your
have my
turn.
gloves still on. My spider
Absolutely,
gloves.
sure. Go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage because of your special climbing gloves.
Woo! Alright, 16 and 16. So it's 16.
Okay, any bonuses?
No, I have +0 to athletics, which is probably a mistake.
Well, you're more acrobatics than athletics, so.
Yes.
For like physical activities like climbing and swimming and things like that, you're not super great, but or jumping and looking cool, you're really good at that. But yeah, you're able to climb the tree with relative ease. You make it, we'll say about 75% of the way up. You're on one of the higher branches before the branches get too thin for, to support anyone's weight. So yeah, you're up there, you have your vantage point, you're looking down. You're maybe 10 feet, 15, like 12 feet in the air, something like that. Let's say 10 feet in the air.
Okay. I pull my bow and arrow out.
Okay, absolutely. You do so. Put away your weapons and bust out the old bow and arrow. Call, the frost reaches your feet now that you're still standing on the edge of the camp. What would you like to do? Are you going to move? Are you going to stand there?
Can I see them?
You peer out into the darkness. Give me a perception. Even for you, it is still very difficult to see because it's fairly heavily wooded.
10 plus 5 is 15.
15. You see shapes moving about 40 feet out. Well, no, I'm sorry. About 30 feet out from where you are right now. You know they'll be upon you pretty soon. But you see two shrouded figures moving silently and effortlessly through the darkness, heading on a direct collision course with your camp.
What is the range of my scythe?
10 feet.
No. 30 feet. Once per day
Oh,
teleport.
Did the teleport? Yeah.
Can I teleport on top of them, like right behind one of them?
You can do whatever you want, Call.
I would like to, as a reaper might suddenly appear as a manifestation of death behind them, with my scythe at the ready. Oh, and by the way, I would like to try out the form of the claw today.
Okay, sounds good. So when you rage, your claws undertook sort of a more shadowy, elongated appearance, as if spectral daggers are shooting out of your fingers in a way.
Biggest
Okay,
bird,
so you're gonna-
sharp bird.
Just triple checking. You're gonna teleport behind them. Yep. Like right behind them and attack. Is that like the goal?
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead and do that. So you activate your teleportation, which lets you essentially place yourself anywhere within 30 feet. And you choose to go behind one of these figures, just for clarity's sake, left or right? Or are you going to go behind the middle and try to hit them both in a big cleave?
We'll go for the left one.
All right, left it is. So you teleport in a sort of flock of crows, and you disappear. And where you reappear once again, more spectral birds sort of disperse. You land. You feel the ground is icy and slick. Give me a dexterity save.
17 plus 3 is 20.
Okay, you're able to find your ground, as it is very difficult to stand. It is basically the entire area that they are standing in is sheeted with ice. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
And I'll do 2 hit rolls.
Yep, you're gonna use your. Are you using your scythe right now?
Yes.
Okay, yep. So you do have an extra attack. You can do 2 scythe rolls. Go for it.
Okay. 17 plus... I have notes for this. 17 plus 6 is 23.
Okay, that's a hit.
Scythe 2, 16 plus 6 is 22. Sorry, 24.
Okay, that is also a hit.
And then my claw, do I do 2 rolls for the claw hits? Or 1?
You do 2 rolls for your claw hits. Yes.
7 plus 6 is 13.
Okay.
5 plus 6 is 11.
Okay, both of those are deflected, as they sort of clash with a very heavy armor. But your two scythes do find contact. Go ahead and give me the damage for those.
D12. This one is a D12 plus 6 while raging.
Mm-hmm.
1 plus 6 is 7. 2 plus 6 is 8.
Okay, so 15 damage in total. Let me see. Alrighty. You slash out and tear into the robes of this hooded figure. Your sight sort of scrapes along these plates of metal that are hidden underneath this shroud, and you feel you don't quite make contact with like a fleshy surface necessarily, like when you're attacking one of these zombies from before, but you definitely feel like you were able to cleave in very well. Yeah, you deal 15 points of damage. Instantly, these two cloaked figures turn. The one that you hit sort of recoiling for a moment, but not making a sound other than the scraping of metal and now the clanking as they turn towards you. You can see that they are slightly taller than you are. You cannot see behind their hooded faces, so you can't actually see any details of their faces. But you see that they have essentially plate gauntlets and boots. They're both adorned in full plate, and they both wield sort of these giant, sort of like bastard swords in a way, that are covered with a thick sheet of ice. You can see that there is frost forming on their boots, and that sort of works its way up their legs, as they sort of emanate this aura of frost around them and cold. You notice it is extremely cold where they are, and after teleporting there, you take a total of 8 damage just from the cold and the frost, just from being next to them.
Oh.
One of them, the one that you slashed, is going to try and grab you. So give me a strength check, Call.
Do I get advantage because I'm raging?
Yep, if your rage says you get an advantage on strength-based checks, then absolutely.
Double check.
They're both gonna try and grab you, so you can actually take you can do this twice.
16. And then I add my strength to that.
I think it's +3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 19 for one, and how about for the other one?
7 plus 3 is 10.
Okay, and that was, so it's both of them are trying to reach out and grab you. So you would do 1, which is 2 rolls because you have advantage.
Oh, so I need 4
and then
rolls.
You need 4 total. So so for that one, we'll take the 16 because that was just for 1 grab, and now we'll do your second one. So
Perfect.
tell me what your highest roll is of these two.
Natural 20 plus 3.
Okay, sounds good.
10 plus 3 is 13.
Okay. The second one you are able to repel away with almost 0 difficulty as you sort of essentially use your claws in a way to like slash away their arm before it reaches you. But as you're doing that, the first one is able to actually reach out and grab you, and you feel a sort of a burning pain, but you realize it's from the cold, not from heat. Give me a... Actually, I don't think you would get any kind of save for this. No, give me a dexterity save. Your sort of last ditch effort.
14 plus 3 is 17.
Okay, that is. Let me see what they get. Oh, not gonna be good enough, I'm afraid. They are. You feel cold again, just emanating from its hand and sort of crawling and growing over your body, and it has got a solid grasp of you. You try to dodge backwards just to get away from it, but it essentially holds you in place with its icy grip. And in a moment, you feel this frost start to overtake you, and you become entombed in a sheet of ice for 4 turns.
Shit.
You can try to break out on your turns. And with that, Doozy, I think we'll go ahead and end the session for tonight right there.
Should've got Han Solo'd.
It's a very ballsy move to rush the opponent without any backup.
Well, they were right there.
Yeah, but Nigel can't see in the dark. And Mendax was setting up in a tree. And then you didn't tell anyone what you were going to do.
I did the same thing last time.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just playing it with what you give me. That's
And
all
I'm being
I'm
calm.
doing.
Let's go.
You're being
Do we know
calm.
what these-
Absolutely.
Do we know what these things are? Would Nigel know what these things are? By that glimpse and by the fact
Nigel-
they're bringing frost?
Not in the flurry of battle. He hasn't decided to make the check yet. He's sort of just been prepping. So, not yet.
They're a couple of
Busy
assholes.
throwing
That's what they
fire
are.
at unknown threats.
That is an important thing. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just go ahead and chill there for the night. We'll say.
Well, I think that's a good spot. I don't think it's too bad. It may seem bad, but honestly, I think they just put effectively Kevlar on Carl, so my fireball that's gonna hit him doesn't do as much damage.
Maybe.
Unless you miss.
Maybe. So just do your best to remember that, and I'll just write it down here where we left off as well. But fantastic. Well, I had such a fun session tonight, and glad that I got to use that very cool spell that I was hoping I would be able to use.
Oh, that's why you were smoking. I see.
Call giving me the opportunity literally almost immediately. You gotta love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for Wayfarers. Remember, this episode is sponsored by crabs, which are better than lobsters. It's been proven by science. Take care of yourselves, and remember, if there are 2 hooded figures approaching your camp, don't rush in like an idiot.
Fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys next time, which should just be in about 2 weeks, unless something comes up, which hopefully not. Crossing fingers.
And thank you all for tuning in to Wayfarers. Sponsored by crabs.